everyone please rise for the playing of our national anthem. This will be the second call for the girls 100 meter dash. Second call, girls 100 meter dash. It will be the first call for the girls 1600 meter run.
That guy right there is blocking you. What are you doing here? All right. I gotta go check in. You seen your mom or dad later?
Attention athletes, this will be the third and final call for the girls 100 meter hurdles. It will also be the third and final call for the boys 110 meter hurdles. It's the second call for the boys 100 meter dash. Again, second call, boys 100 meter dash.
High jumper.
what? I tried to talk to you when you was down there. Yeah, you was
get down here and play ball.
I don't know. Look in the crowd.
Are you staying up there? Yeah, they are right there. Coach is staying up there.
Well, good evening and welcome you back to UNF Hodges Stadium here on the campus of the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. It's the 2012 FHSAA Track and Field Finals here on the FHSAA Network, and tonight we will crown more state champions individually and as a team in the Class 3A Boys and Girls Track Finals. Along with Dr. Bob Cook here of DistancePreps.com. Here he is, he's looking at me. I remember now. I'm Marty Paulman. We welcome you back to the University of North Florida, and we've been here for a little while, but it gets a lot of fun tonight because Dr. Bob, we're going to crown plenty of state champions. We have a couple of team competitions still up for grabs. On the girls' side, Miami Northwestern is starting to pull away a little bit. They have a 12-point lead. On the boys' side, it is up for grabs. Gulf Breeze with a 2-point lead after 6 events over Gainesville High coming into tonight's final event. So it should be an exciting evening here of track and field.
Yeah, a lot of these teams now will start to gather a lot of points. You know, we're going to start to see the cream of the crop start to move up a little bit as they start to garner some points in events that they're probably specialized in and expected to win. You know, we're on the boys' side, Bartram Trail looking pretty good, picking up a runner-up earlier on in the 4x8. And also Gainesville looking pretty good at this point as well. Hillsborough still a little bit of work to do, but they're squarely in 3rd place right now with 14 points. Ridgeview is still there, hanging out with 13 points, and East Lee County presently in number 5 in the 5th position with 12 points after 6 events. And then on the girls' side, you know, nobody really expects that there's going to be another champion here tonight other than Miami Northwestern. Everybody's fighting for that runner-up position. That's where you get a chance to take home the hardware. Lakewood Ranch, Dillard, Evans, Gainesville, Pine Forest, all expected to be in the hunt. But there's a reason why we run these races, and that's because you got to get the points out on the track, out on the field when it's all said and done. So it's going to play out. You know, last week, Marty, it went down to the last races for the most part on the boys' side in both 1A and 2A. The girls were kind of already known. It was a known factor going in the last race, a little bit of air taken out of the bubble.
Well, on the girls' side, through 7 events, Miami Northwestern does have a 12-point lead, 34 points. Lake Weir with a couple of victories in the jumping, high jump and long jump. They're in second with 22. Actually, one of their, a good day for them. A couple of their, I can't remember, I forgot the name now, but Lake Weir with 22 in second. Evans is in third with 10.5, so Lake Weir is having a pretty good day in the that area as well. So they're hanging out in second place as Lake Weir. Evans in third, as I mentioned, with 10.5. Pensacola with 10. And as we get ready for a night of finals, I guess some of the folks we look at tonight, we'll see Tristy Johnson again of Ed White High School here in Jacksonville. And she is expected and is the favorite in the girls 100-meter dash, coming off an 11.81 in the prelims this afternoon.
Tristy Johnson looking really good early on, along with Kendall Williams out of Stanton High School. 20.89. Second fastest time in the nation. And I think he can go faster. He only had a little bit of help on the wind, 1.4. But that was a really, really fast 200. That was the surprise of the prelims earlier on. Artie Burns cruising in the 110s and the 300s. He's saving it for the finals tonight and looked really comfortable getting through.
Yeah, that was Shamil Hamilton, who I was trying to remember from Lake Weir. She was the winner in the girls' long jump earlier today, so that really helped Lake Weir get into that position, and also winning the triple jump, coming in first there. So that's 20 points from Shamil Hamilton for Lake Weir on the girls' side, so they're in second place because of that. And as we just said, Kendall Williams, we'll see him coming up in the boys 100 meter. He is the defending state champion there, and he ran a 10.69. It will be the #1 seed in the final coming up tonight. And on the other side, we also talked about Tristy Johnson. We're going to actually start with the girls 100-meter hurdles. That'll be our first final of the evening. And there we're going to see Jonna Whitaker. She had the fastest time in the prelims out of Pine Forest, a 14.27. And she will be in lane 5 when we get things going here in just a few moments and crown a state champion of the girls 100-meter hurdles. In lane 1, it's going to be Shaylin Cyprian of Wolfson High School in Jacksonville. Lane 2, Victoria Abnathy of George Jenkins High. Yolanda Springer of Northwestern in lane 3. Kamani Austin Reese of Central High in lane 4. Jonna Whitaker in lane 5 from Pine Forest. Jamaica Glades from Dillard High School in lane 6. It'll be Altonese Williams from Northwestern, also in lane 7. Abriona Campbell from Atlantic Coast here in Jacksonville in lane 8. And Alexis Wright from George Steinbrenner High School in Lutz, Tampa area in lane 9.
All the favorites made it through to the finals. Lane 4, 5, and 6 are going to be absolutely stacked. It's going to come down to probably less than a tenth of a second between these three if it plays out the way I think it will. Austin Reese, Whitaker, and Glades. You know, some points on the line here as we get ready for the first event in the finals this evening.
You mentioned Artie Burns, too, out of Northwestern High. We'll see him come up in the boys 110-meter hurdles. A 14.10, really cruised in the prelims. Didn't really look like he was even exerting much energy, but easily won his heat and had the best time. Next closest was 14.70 by Benjamin Baccio.
And Benjamin lucky to make it through. There was some hesitation as to whether it was going to be a false start, but nothing charged. So just about ready to go with the girls 100-meter hurdles finals for 3A. As we look out over the stadium, a little bit of shade now down on the track.
Sun heading down behind the stadium here at Hodges Field. Good crowd tonight for this 3A state championship. A better crowd as the day went on. Heat let up a little bit. It's been warm in the 90s most of the day. A lot of humidity. But now here we go.
And a fair start. Out good in lane 5. That's Jonna Whitaker. Coming up in lane 4, Austin Reese. It's 4, 5, and 6, just like we thought. It's going to go down to the wire. Who's it going to be?
It's close. I think Jonna Whitaker. And we'll see for sure. But, boy, it looked like No, it was Whitaker.
Close.
I think she got her head out in front.
Well, just like we thought, you know, I thought it was going to be a tenth of a second separating all three of those right in the middle of the track.
You're right.
Making me look good, Marty.
Yeah, it was. Good prediction. It was between Kamani Austin Reese, Jonna Whitaker, and Jamaica Glades. Still haven't seen the official numbers put up as we started a little bit before 6:30. But
Third and final call, girls 1600 meter run.
waiting to see.
Final call, girls 1600 meter
Still haven't seen it officially. And that's probably why they're looking at the videotape, looking back to see who the winner is. Of course, our timing brought to you by halfmiletiming.com.
And from this angle, it certainly looked like Jonna Whitaker with the win. The question is, you know, who's going to get second in my mind? Is it going to be Kamani Austin Reese out of Miami Central, or is it going to be Jamaica Glades out of Dillard? Kamani Austin Reese, the fastest time in the 3A so far. She's already gone 13:94, and she's only a sophomore, so we get a chance to see her for a couple more years.
Well, we'll have the boys 110 meter hurdles coming up. We'll have a chance to see Artie Burns for the first time in the finals. He will be starting in lane 5 out of Northwestern High School. In lane 1, it'll be Daniel Foshi of Harmony High. Lane 2, Justin Cromartie from Childs High School. Larry Donald in lane 3 from Bartram Trail. Benjamin Baccio from IDS Baker in lane 4. Artie Burns in lane 5. Samson Moore from Gaither High in lane 6. John Battle from Hallandale in 7. Shaman Williams from Gainesville in lane 8. And Evan Jennings from Hillsborough High in lane 9. We've still not seen the official results here, so I guess we're definitely, and now looks like the website has Jonna Whitaker as the winner, halfmiletiming.com. And I think that is official, so she did win a little bit more comfortable than I realized, if this timing is correct. Actually, those are the preliminaries I'm looking at still, so never mind. We have yet to get the official totals. Actually, it is 14.20 now. So she just edged out Jamaica Glades. It was at 14.24 from Dillard. And Kamani Austin Reese, 14.25. Doesn't get any closer from Central, comes in third. So Pine Forest picks up 10 points. They move to third in the team total with 20. And Northwestern gets another 5 as Altonese Williams comes in fourth. Alexis Wright from Steinbrenner in 5th. Victoria Abernathy from George Jenkins in 6th. Yolanda Springer again from Northwestern in 7th. Shaylin Cyprian from Woolston in 8th. And Abriana Campbell from Atlantic Coast High in 9th. So Northwestern picks up 7 more points. They now have 41 in the 3A team total, and they lead Lake Weir now by 19 through 8 events.
Just as expected, Miami Northwestern. They're going to start to slowly pull away throughout the rest of the night. Well, as we look down to the start line for the boys' 110-meter hurdles, this could be really, really something special. The wind is probably just a slight quartering headwind, so not a tailwind like you'd like to have. But Artie Burns, fastest 110-meter hurdler in the nation, getting ready to take the track. He's already gone 13:35 this year. The state meet record, 13:59. It's been around for 22 years already. Will we get a chance to see that go down tonight?
Watch Artie Burns in lane 5 in the gold, the Northwestern High School colors. Benjamin Baccio in lane 4 out of IDS Baker, maybe his biggest competition. The boys 110-meter hurdles final.
And a good clean start. Artie is out quick over the first hurdle. He will continue to accelerate down the track.
Wow.
Looking clean over the hurdles. Artie Burns out of Miami Northwestern coming up in lane 5. That'll be
It's close.
Samson Moore out of Gaither. So the question is, did he go better than 13:59? Not quite. 13.71, not a state meet record for Artie Burns out of Miami Northwestern.
But he is the winner. Artie Burns, the state champion in the 110-meter hurdles. An easy victory. As you mentioned, Dr. Bob, Samson Moore comes in second with a 14.29. Benjamin Baccio at third at 14.44. And Evan Jennings of Hillsborough in fourth at 14.59. So Artie Burns, an easy winner there. And picks up 10 points for the Northwestern boys. And fifth, John Battle of Hallandale, 14.79. Sixth is Larry Donald at 14.84 from Bartram Trail. Seventh, Justin Cromartie at 15.11. Eighth is ninth is Shimon Williams of Gainesville. He comes in ninth place. So over on the medal stand,
Your 2012 FHSAA Class 3 state champion with a time 14.20.
we have another state title crown here, and that is for the race we just had. The 100-meter hurdle is Jonna Whitaker from Pine Forest High School, your state champion. She is getting her gold medal there in the middle of the field. In second place, Jamaica Glades of Dillard just edged Kamani Austin Reese, who finished third out of Central High.
Good 10 points for Jonna Whitaker and Pine Forest. Pine Forest, the state champion the last 2 years. A little bit of a rebuilding year, though, for Pine Forest. Also one of the nation's best track and field teams in 2011.
Yes, we thought that Artie Burns might at least threaten the record there. Didn't quite, but he still ran a very fast time. And he will pick up the state championship in the 110-meter hurdles. Coming up, the girls 100-meter dash final. And a chance to see Tristy Johnson, again of Ed White High School. She will be in lane 5. Her preliminary time, 11.81. So she's the #1 seed coming into this final. And maybe her biggest competition coming from Sevon Jones of Blanche Ely.
And Sevon Jones, earlier on in that first section, had an absolutely blazing start. Tristy Johnson had to make up a lot of room the second half of the race to secure the win in that first section earlier on in the girls' 100-meter dash. So the secret really, if she doesn't want it to come down to the wire and hoping to get her first state championship, needs to have a really good solid start for Tristy Johnson.
Tristy Johnson in lane 5. Charlene Grooms from Palmetto will start in lane 1. It'll be Hope Joel Misty from Northwestern in lane 2. Khadidra Jackson from Gainesville in lane 3. Sevon Jones of Blanche Ely in lane 4. Tristy Johnson in lane 5. Tara Clark from Evans High in lane 6. Khadidra Middleton of Northwestern in lane 7. Dakiria Wilson of Kathleen in lane 8. And Felicia Fluellen of Palm Bay High School in lane 9. The 100-meter dash final.
State leader right now, 11.33. Shayla Sanders, also the fastest in the nation out of Boyd Anderson High School. And a good start. A good start once again for Sevon Jones out of Blanche Ely. Coming up on her right side, that's Tristy Johnson starting to pull away. And also in lane 6, Atara Clark.
Yep. And we'll see, I think Atara Clark may have finished second. But there is Tristy Johnson rolling to the win and winning the state title. 11.86. A little bit off her preliminary time, 11.81. And yes, Atara Clark at 12.05. Third place goes to Sevon Jones of Blanche Ely at 12.09. 12.11, pardon me.
Well, Tristy Johnson, the hometown favorite. You know, I mentioned earlier during the prelims, I had a chance to talk to her yesterday. We did an article on distancepreps.com. You can check it out. Found out a couple things about Tristy. She's going off to Bethune-Cookman, wants to either become a pediatrician or study business. And she's right on the cusp of being a national elite. And only a senior that has never hit the weight room before, according to her coach. So a lot of upside once she gets into school. And down with the boys, 110-meter hurdle awards.
110-meter hurdles, they're congratulating the state champ. The second year in a row, Artie Burns winning last year in 4A. And this year, of course, the Northwestern team drops down to 3A. So a repeat for Artie Burns in the 110-meter hurdles. Last year, a 13.63, so a little bit higher time, a little bit off this time, but still a state champion again for Artie Burns. And again, he gets Northwestern more points. Meanwhile, Ed White High School celebrates Tristy Johnson winning a state championship there in the girls' 100-meter dash. And I guess not that surprising. They're seen as a big favorite coming in. Coming up, we'll have the boys' 100-meter dash.
This race is going to be really, really close. Top 7 guys, all under 11 flat, anywhere from about 10.69 to 10.86.
Well, that's going to
Favorite going in, probably Kendall Williams, but it's going to be really, really close. He's already gone 10.37, and the fastest time in the state and also the U.S. #1 time, 10.25, Marvin Bracey out of Boone High School.
Well, that's something is we are off. For the
And it's a good start for Williams. Good start for Kendall Williams out of lane 5 and also in lane 2. That's Tyrell Johnson. That's going to be a good fast time for Kendall Williams, getting another state championship, adding to his 200 state championship from last year.
Kendall Williams from the beginning leading there, and he gets the win in the 100-meter dash. Kendall Williams out of Stanton Prep here in Jacksonville. And we'll see second place is going to go to Trayvon Bromell from Gibbs High School. 10.49 for Kendall Williams. Not too far off that state record total. And coming in third, as you can see the results there at halfmiletiming.com. Third place.
So a great start for Kendall Williams. Right now that's about the 8th fastest time in the nation. A new PR for Kendall Williams. His night's looking pretty darn good, and he's got the 200 coming up where he's already run the 2nd fastest time in the nation in the prelims.
Third place, Tyrell Johnson out of Island Coast, 10.68. Bromell, second, 10.65. So fast race there, but Kendall Williams, as you just mentioned, Dr. Bob, another state title for him as he gets it in the 100-meter dash.
And you know what you really like about Kendall Williams is he's only a sophomore. So he's got a couple more years to grow into his sprinting body, and I think we're going to see some really good stuff if this is any indication from Kendall Williams down the road. An AAU national champion, and he's now, you know, he's used to big competition. He doesn't feel any butterflies when he's down on the line, I wouldn't think.
Coming up, we'll have the girls' 1,600-meter run. And this will be a, obviously we haven't had a lot of longer runs today. Kendall Williams, you mentioned last year, winning the 200-meter. Which we will see him coming up later. So another state title for him there. We'll try to add 2 later. 1,600-meter run is coming up on the girls' side. The all-time state record is 4:48.90. FHSAA finals record by Jennifer Behringer of Oviedo in 2004. That was in the 4A competition. Olivia Ortiz is the top seed, top regional time out of Lakewood Ranch, 4:57.39 coming into this event. She will be in 5A. This will be obviously a little different than what we've seen today. Carly Thomas of Childs and Lily Williams, as this is a 1A for Carly Thomas, 2A for Lily Williams. Venus Garcia of Mater Dei, or Mater, in 2B, Mater Academy. Anne-Marie Blaney of Bellevue in 3A. Homestead's Destiny Johnson in 3B. Rachel Petrick of Fort Myers High and Nikita Shaw of Wiregrass Ranch in 4A and 4B respectively. Olivia Ortiz in 5A, Vanessa Valentine of Melbourne in 5B. Caroline Barlow of Gulf Coast in 6A, Leesburg, Allison Wilson in 6B, Casey Smith of Estero in 7A, Emily Shawner of Chamberlain in 7B, Taylor Tubbs from Sebring in 8A, Marianne Aguilar of Archbishop McCarthy in 8B, and Rachel Gibbons from Childs High School in 9A. So we will settle in, and Dr. Bob, we've seen a lot of races, really a lot of the shorter races today. Now we'll have a bit longer race. The 3200s are coming up later. Now we run into the girls 1600.
Well, the question is, Lily Williams down on the track for Childs High School, the state leader in the 1600 and the 3200, a Foot Locker finalist and state champion on the track. Going for the triple, Marty. It's very, very hard to do here at the state meet because this meet just rolls along. There's not a lot of time to recuperate in between the events. The question is Lily going to go all out and possibly try and break Jenny Simpson's record? Jenny Simpson, an Olympian, world champion in the 1500, Florida's all-time greatest prep at the pro and college level. What I fully expect, Marty, is that Lily is going to help her team out. You know, Childs is going to be in the running. They beat Pine Forest last week. I fully expect that Lily Williams will try and just get the win. She's going to be able to compete with all these other girls. She's really, really strong the second half of a race. she should be able to go with anybody down on the track. You know, a lot of these girls ran the 4x8 earlier on. To include Olivia Ortiz, who comes in with the fastest seed, Olivia had to press it earlier on in the 4x8. She had to run around a 2:17 split. Not terribly fast, but you know, when you do that early in the day and it's hot as heck out on the track at 1:15 or so when the girls took the track, that can kind of take it out of you.
And we're underway.
So the girls' 1,600-meter run underway. A lot of good competitors in this race. Fully expect that we'll see Carolyn Barlow, who is an up-and-comer in that lead pack. Vanessa Valentine, who's been having a great season down on the Space Coast, going off to Vandy next year. The same as Lily Williams. They'll be teaming up in that great SEC distance crew that they're putting together. Nikita Shaw, you know, we had a chance to see her at the FSU Relays. We had a really great race in the 3,200. And Anne-Marie Blaney out of Bellevue. Some of the front runners I expect as the girls come through fairly conservative in the first 200 with Lily Williams to the front, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to control the pace, control your exertion level. You know that you've got the 8 and the 1,600 coming up very, very soon as the night rolls on if you're Lily Williams. And then down in second, also running the 4x8 earlier on, Casey Smith. And now moving up on her right-hand shoulder, Olivia Ortiz, Rachel Petrick out of Fort Myers, Vanessa Valentine, Carly Thomas is in that lead pack, just a couple meters back from Lily Williams.
Lily Williams in the lead. They now have gone past minute 25 in the 1,600-meter run. This is the final. And Lily Williams, her prelim time was 5:09.84, her region time. By the way, Northwestern, the boys team, thanks to the Artie Burns victory, has now gone to the top of the boys standings in 3A with 21, Gulf Breeze with 20. How about this? Hillsborough with 19, Gainesville with 18. 4 teams within 3 points of each other. Northwestern also up on the girls' side.
Well, this is very surprising as we take a look at the trail pack. Lily Williams, I thought, would be laying off of this pace. My hope was that she was going to try and go after Jenny Behringer-Simpson's record. It's within reach. She's already gone 4:47.79, which is below the state meet record. But it's always a little bit slower, it seems, at the championship events as she goes through in 2:21, so right around 4:42 pace.
There's a pack of 8 girls behind her.
And they go through in 2:29, so quite a difference. I mean, this is the domination that we've seen from Lily Williams out of Childs on the track this season. You know, she's a state champion and Foot Locker finalist, but I don't think anybody really expected her to finish off her high school career with this kind of dominance in the 1,600 and the 3,200. The race right now is for second, and that lead is 70 meters, and we're only about 1,000 meters in for Lily. So there's the chase pack. You've got Olivia Ortiz holding on the rail. You've got Casey Smith right behind her.
This would be a three-peat for Lily Williams.
Rachel Givens is up there as well from Childs. Rachel Petrick, Vanessa Valentine. Carly Thomas is on the trail end of that pack, but it's all Lily Williams, the senior out of Childs High School, going off to Vandy next year.
She won in 2010 with a time of 4:58.56. Last year, 4:56.20. Let's see if she can better that, as it looks like Lily Williams will three-peat here in this 1,600-meter run in Class 3A.
Well, she goes through right around 3:37, so she only needs to close in roughly 70 seconds. Very doable. Question is, you know, what does Coach Gowan yell to her down the backstretch? She's probably got the splits as well. Does he have her go after the record, knowing that she's so strong right now and that she can come back in the 8 and the 3,200 and still possibly get 10 points for Childs? But what about that chase pack? Now we're starting to see these folks start to get some leg turnover with 300 meters to go. You've got Olivia Ortiz. You've got Casey Smith. Rachel Givens out of Childs. She's been having a great season. The chase is on. Lily Williams through with 4:18, we'll call it, with 200 meters to go, so she needs to close in 30 seconds. Looking just a little bit heavy. You never know if it's just because she's gone out so fast or maybe conserving a little bit of energy.
But she has cruised since the opening really has pulled away and has just held a steady lead. The battle is for second place.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she really could have taken a challenge at this state meet record. Here comes Olivia Ortiz. She's in second right now with Rachel Givens out of Childs and Casey Smith making a late charge. Lily will win it. Olivia will get second. Rachel in third. Casey Smith out of Estero in fourth.
That was a good race for the Childs Timberwolves that time. It picked up first and third. 4:53.60 for Lily Williams. So she bettered her marks of the last 2 years in the championship. 4:58.61 for Olivia Ortiz from Lakewood Ranch comes in second. And Rachel Givens takes third from Childs also with a time of 4:58. So first and third place for Childs. That will help them in the overall team standings. And for Lily Williams, she cruises for the third year in a row the state championship. 4:58.96 for Rachel Givens in fourth place. It was Casey Smith from Estero High School.
Well, if you're Coach Gowan for Childs and you look at that 1600, that's exactly what you wanted to have happen. The only thing I would say is Lily Williams, not making a charge at the state meet record. Hopefully it doesn't come back and it's going to hurt her later on going so fast in the 1600. But they scored 3 runners in the top 8 for Childs, garnering a lot of points, helping them out.
That is very good there. As on the medal stand, we have Tristy Johnson. There she is from Ed White High School, taking the state championship with a final total of 11.86 in the finals. She gets 10 points for Ed White. That moves them into 6th place. At Tara Clark of Evans in 2nd. Siobhan Jones of Blanche Ely in 3rd place. And through 9 events, Miami Northwestern really cruising. 49 points now for Northwestern, 22 for Lake Weir, still in 2nd. Pine Forest in 3rd with 20 points. And obviously Childs picking up 16 points in that last race, so that will help Childs move up as well into the top 5. But Tristy Johnson, an easy winner in the girls' 100-meter dash final. Coming up, we will move to the boys' 1,600-meter run. Here they come. And here we will take a look at Jacob Kotick of Pensacola. He is the top seed coming in, 4:21.06. They'll start at lane 5A.
Fully expect that this is going to be a battle up front. A lot of guys right around that low 420 range. Kotick having a great end to his season, going 4:21.06 already. Ryan Schnelly, he'll come back in the 800. One of the fastest 800 runners you'll ever see. Going to be a Gator, University of Florida next year. I like to call them baby Gators at this point. And Joe, you know exactly what I mean. So getting some final instructions from the officials down on the track. Some of the other guys will be able to keep an eye out for. Marcus Smith out of Carroll City. We don't get a chance to see him a whole lot down in South Florida. And Avery Lopez out of Belen. He's gone 4:23.19, but he's also gone 4:18.72 as his fastest PR time this year.
Yeah, Belen coming in 2nd earlier today in the 4x800 meter, the boys' side. Nicholas Morkin will start in lane 1A from Niceville High School. It'll be Corey Holt in 2A out of East Lee County. In lane 2B, Sammy El Abar from Forest Hill. 3A is Brandon Duncan from Armwood. In 3B, it's Francisco Tejedor from Belen. In lane 4A, Marcus Smith from Carroll City. In 4B, it's Quincy O'Connor from Celebration High. In 5A, Jacob Kotick from Pensacola. Is that
Pensacola, Booker, Washington. Yep, out of Pensacola.
Booker, okay, I'm sorry. So Booker, Washington, Pensacola. Joshua Pelletier from lane 5B from Palmetto Ridge. Ryan Schnelly, as we mentioned, from Charlotte High School in 6A. Ermias Barreda from Wiregrass Ranch in 6B. It'll be Avery Lopez from Belen in 7A. Jose Perez from Haines City in 7B. Mac Reynolds from Nice in 8A. Jonathan Hilzebos from Lakeland High in 8B. And Jacob Slupecki from Lincoln High School in 9A. Meanwhile, on the medal stand, another state champion crown. That is the 100-meter dash. Kendall Williams taking it home from Stanton Preparatory School here in Jacksonville.
Number 8 time in the nation right now. Really, really good 100 meters, and we got the 200 coming up for Kendall Williams, only a sophomore out of Stanton.
10.49, a state championship again there. Trayvon Brumell of Gibbs in second, and Tyrell Johnson of Island Coast finishes third, so 10 points there for Stanton Prep. Moves them into a tie for 7th at 10. Northwestern with 21, Gulf Breeze with 20 through 8 events. Hillsborough with 19, Gainesville with 18 on the boys' side.
So still very early, but I think the surprise there is Gulf Breeze High School with 20 points at this point.
And we're off for the boys' 1,600 meter run.
Fastest time in the state so far, 4:11.76 set by Andres Arroyo at the FSU relays. And Andres having a great season, the junior out of Colonial, so we'll get a chance to see him come back next year. And the fastest time in the nation, Marty, a blistering 4:05.83, Marcus Dixon out of Washington. And it wasn't all that long ago that we set the state record as these guys come through the 200 right around 29 seconds flat, 4:08.84. Joseph Franklin out of Godby High School later went on to the University of Tennessee.
So we are in a pack here in the first part of the 1,600 meter run. Current leader is Carroll City's Marcus Smith.
And right behind him, Mac Reynolds. Mac a little bit banged up earlier this week, a car accident, but he is on the track and gracious that he is here on the track, able to compete tonight. His final night as a high schooler. He'll be going off to the University of Florida. So the Gators up front, right behind him, Ryan Schnelly in second. So not all that fast. The first lap, we will get a good split of them as they come through the 800 meter mark, but it's Mac Reynolds doing the work up front, followed by Ryan Schnelly down on the rail. And that is Joshua Pelletier presently in second.
And now moving into the lead. Oh.
So making a little bit of a break here, a little bit early in the race to be doing that, knowing that the guys are behind you. But that's Joshua Pelletier, the University of South Florida signee out of Palmetto Ridge. Making a break about 650 meters in, but they will close that gap very soon. Ryan Schnelly not going to let him get too far away as he's in second. These guys will come across the 800 in right around 2:08, so 4:16 pace, fairly honest pace at this point. Joshua Pelletier, Ryan Schnelly, and Avery Lopez out of Bellin. And then back in fourth, that's Marcus Smith out of Carroll City with Mac Reynolds in fifth. So it looks like everybody has closed the gap up on Pelletier. Moving up now very nicely, Avery Lopez out of Bellin. And Ryan Schnelly going to be just there all night covering all the searches out of Charlotte. Ryan has already gone 4:22.68 this year. And so it'll be interesting to start picking up where Jacob Kodak is out of Pensacola, Booker, Washington. He'll have on the #1 hip number, and he's back in the pack, hasn't really made his way to the front yet. As Avery Lopez out of Bellin brings him in front of the grandstand here for the third time. Ryan Schnelly just off his right-hand shoulder. Followed by Corey Holt out of East Lee County, 3:17.
Pretty good
after
pace.
3. So if these guys are able to close in 60 seconds, we're looking at right around 4:16, 4:17, and down the backstretch, Schnelly in pursuit of Avery Lopez out of Bellin. They're at 10 meters clear now. Looks like Joshua Pelletier moving back into third with Corey Holt out of East Lee County. Both of them running 3:4 right now. There's going to be lots of movement this last 200. We know Ryan Schnelly's got good closing speed, and you'd be surprised, I think, at the closing speed of Avery Lopez out of Bellin. He is down on the inside rail, not going to let Schnelly get any inches over towards that rail. He's going to have to work as they come down the stretch. Well, we know Schnelly's got good 800 speed.
Here he comes.
Lopez trying to keep it close. We've seen this many, many times the last 15 meters. Ryan Schnelly will win the state championship in the 1600 and 4:16.
Yeah, he
Avery
really pulled
Lopez
away.
will get second. Pelletier moving past Reynolds for third. Mac Reynolds in fourth. And the rest of the guys continue to stream on in.
4:16.55 for Ryan Schnelly as he wins the state title out of Charlotte High School here in the 1,600 meters. And the state record will still stand, 4:08.84 by Joseph Franklin. Not really threatened, but there is your winner, Ryan Schnelly, who you said coming in would, Dr. Bob, would be somebody to watch, and he gets it done as the second place finisher is Avery Lopez out of Bellin, 4:17.68, and in third at 4:22.31 for Joshua Pelletier out of Palmetto Ridge. So a state championship for Ryan Schnelly. So you see the rest of the finishers brought to you by halfmiletiming.com. Fourth place was Mac Reynolds out of Nisai at 4:23.08. Fifth is Francisco Teodor from Bellin, and sixth place is Nicholas Morgan out of Niceville High School.
So just a little bit off of the PR of 4:15.71 for Ryan Schnelly, but a very good time. Guys are celebrating. Joshua Pelletier looks pretty darn happy. He'll be going off to South Florida next year. Marcus Smith out of Carroll City down there as well. So here are the girls. Lily Williams gets 10 points. She gets another state championship with Olivia Ortiz in second.
And Rachel Gibbons of Childs in third, and that propels Childs into sixth place now, and the team total was 17. They pick up 16 in one race. First and third place now 17 for Childs. Miami Northwestern leading through 10 events with 49 points. Lake Weirs in second with 22. Pine Forest in third with 20. Evans with 18.5 in fourth. Lakewood Ranch is fifth, and Childs now sixth with 17. Lily Williams celebrates a third straight state title in the girls' 1,600 meter run. And a good finish as well there for Olivia Ortiz of Lakewood Ranch. They're in fifth place now overall as well as a team.
Well, two of those girls I know that we will see at the SEC level next year. Vanessa Valentine finishing up sixth, and Lily Williams, our champion in the 1,600 meters, both going off to Vandy next year. We had a chance to do a special on Vanessa Valentine earlier on this week on distancepreps.com. It was a really good read by Mark Dakotas. If you get a chance, check it out. And you know, the thing that I took away from that award ceremony is Lily Williams still had a lot left. It didn't look like she really had to expend all that much energy. She's got a little bit of time now before the 800 comes up. Coach Gowan will make sure that she gets her legs up, gets some fluid in her. We don't often see a triple here. That's one of the things I know a lot of the distance folks across the state have been wondering. Is Lily Williams of the mindset where she can pull it off tonight?
Well, coming up, we're going to move on to the relays. The girls 4x100 meter relay final. And the top time in the regionals belong to, surprise, Northwestern High School with a 47.26. They are currently in control of the team totals right now, and they will start in lane 5. Evans High School will be in lane 1. Lake Weir in lane 2. No. In lane 3, it's Miami Norland. In lane 4, Atlantic Coast. Gainesville will be in lane 6. Northwestern in lane 5. Stanton Prep in lane 7. Kathleen High School in lane 8. And Blanche Ely will be in lane 9. As we move along to the girls 4x100 meter relay. After this, we'll move to the boys side, where Lincoln High School had the fastest time in the regionals, the prelims, pardon me. So on the girls side of it right now, we're starting to see a bit of a distance from Northwestern High pulling away a bit now with 49 points. On the boys side, it is still up for grabs here in Class 3A.
Well, this 4x1 ought to be very interesting. You know, for the most part, we saw decent exchanges earlier on. A lot of teams qualifying right in the 47-second range. Fastest seat coming in, Miami Northwestern, 47.26. But not far off from them, Marty. Atlantic Coast, 47.55. And I think the surprise out of the prelims earlier on, Gainesville, they throw down a 47.8. So like it always does in the 4x100 meter relay, comes down to the exchange zones. And you know, what kind of people do you have running the straightaways? Sometimes people are a little bit better at running straightaways versus corners. And then if you've got somebody that can really attack a corner, that's where you're able to make up some room.
Yeah, very close times in here. As we said, Northwestern with a 47.26. We'll go over this again. Evans is in lane 1. As you see there, in lane 2 will be Lake Weir. In lane 3, Miami Norland. Lane 4 is Atlantic Coast. Lane 5, Northwestern. Lane 6, Gainesville. Lane 7, Stanton Prep. Lane 8 is Kathleen High. And lane 9 will be Blanche Ely.
Starter ready.
Well, we'll get the flags from all the officials, make sure everybody is set all the way around the track. Fastest time in 3A, 47.09 by Miami Northwestern at the Louis Bing Classic. And the fastest time in the state, 45.66. My Cobras. Marty, if I didn't tell you earlier, I'll probably tell you this a couple times over the next 24 hours. I'm a Boyd Anderson Cobra alumni.
All right, okay.
So always rooting for the Cobras.
Lauderdale Lakes.
Have the fastest time in the state at 45.62.
Gotcha.
And the fastest time in the nation, regardless, 45.42, MLK Jr. out of Georgia. And we're underway with the girls' 4x100 meter championships here at 3A at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. As we take a look down in the exchange zones, Miami Northwestern out good. And not a good handoff for Atlantic Coast. They are going to be way, way behind. But Miami Northwestern looking very good, and they are the first handoff in zone 2.
And Northwestern runs to the lead there on that handoff.
So Miami Northwestern, and just like we saw Gainesville earlier on, Gainesville in second, but it's going to be a battle for that second place. But Miami Northwestern is going to run away with it. 47.09, the fastest time in 3A, and they are going to have a new fastest time for the 3A 4x100 relay teams. Very, very quick. Solid all the way around with the exchanges for Miami Northwestern.
Looks like Stanton Prep in second. They are. Stanton comes in second at 47.51. Northwestern 46.33. Miami Norland in third at 47.74. And Gainesville High School in fourth at 47.78. Blanche Ely fifth. Kathleen sixth. Atlantic Coast seventh. And bringing up the last place there is Lake Weir in eighth place. Actually, there were 9. As we had a runner being attended to down on there. Evans High School ends up in ninth. So, another victory for Northwestern. That will add to their team total.
Helping out the team score. You know, nobody really expects that they're not going to win this thing tonight. The question is, who's going to finish up in second? Gainesville did themselves a favor by finishing up fairly high in that race.
And Gainesville is up near the top in the boys standings right now as we move along to the boys 4x100 meter relay. Lincoln High School with the top time coming in at 41.55 in the prelims. They'll start in lane 5. Dillard will be in lane 1. Martin County in lane 2. Lakeland Kathleen in lane 3. Ida S. Baker in 4. Lincoln in 5. Armwood will be in 6. Pine Forest in lane 7. And Miami Norland in 8. St. Cloud High School in lane 9. The boys 4x100 meter relay. The all-time FHSAA state record.
On the track right now is the boys 4x1, lane 1.
Thrown down just a couple years ago.
Yeah, Monsignor Pace.
Monsignor Pace, I'll never forget that night. They went 40-54.
Yep.
That was just an absolutely stellar evening down at Showalter Field down in Winter Park. And you know, we haven't really mentioned it, Marty. This is our third night of carrying the state finals here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of UNF. But it sure was a great time down at Winter Park, down at Showalter Field. The administration and the staff and all the volunteers made it a very wonderful 5 years down there. And now we get an opportunity to see a little step up in the facility. Granted, it's a little bit further away from the central part of the state. But I think if you get a chance to come on out and actually check out Hodges Stadium, it's a great place for a state event.
It's a IAAF certified track, one of only 7 in the country.
And the same Mondo surface that they've used in the Beijing Olympics.
Wow.
It's 9 lanes, which really helps here at the finals, be able to get 9 competitors on the finals.
That reminds me, I'm glad you brought the Olympics because we were about 80 days or so away from the 2012 Summer Olympics in London.
Yeah, some breaking news if
Forward to
you're
that.
a distance fan today. Chris Zielinski not going to be competing in the Olympic trials. That was the big news coming out of the distance world today. We're just going to keep ratcheting it up as we get ready for the Olympic trials and the Olympics shortly thereafter.
So we are ready in just a moment for that 4x100 meter relay on the boys' side.
Well, the fastest time in the state, we saw it last week on this track by American Heritage where they went 40.9. And the state lead is for 3A right now. Lincoln High School, they set that at the regional meet, and they come in as the fastest seed out of the prelims. They went 41.26 at the regionals last week and 41.55 in the prelims.
And Ryan Schnelly's win earlier
Attention
in the
athletes.
1600 meter run from Charlotte High puts Charlotte High now in 6th with 15 points, and Bellin, thanks to a 2nd and a 5th place finish. Avery Lopez is 2nd, Francisco Teodor in 5th. Bellin now moves up to a tie for 2nd, 20 points for Bellin Jesuit. Tie with Gulf Breeze 1 point behind Miami Northwestern. It's really tightening up on the boys' side in 3A. We still have Hillsborough in 4th with 19 and Gainesville in 5th with 18. Charlotte in 6th with 15.
Well, Charlotte, the
Wide
2010 and 2011 3A track and field champions on the boys' side.
So we are ready for the start here of the 4x100 meter relay finals on the boys' side. After this, we'll move over to the 400 meter dash, girls and boys coming up.
Guys getting ready to settle down in the blocks. Can we get somebody to go below 41.5? That will be the question. 41.55 was the fastest prelim. Tend to be just a little bit quicker in the final, but teams also tend to push just a little bit more. You know, you see a lot of people leaving a little bit early off of their taped marks. It all comes down to the handoffs in the 4x1. And it's a good start. We're underway with the boys 4x100 meter relay. Out quick in lane 5. That's Lincoln High School, the fastest seed coming in. And that was a really good opening leg for Lincoln.
They have Kathleen in first currently, but here comes Lincoln. You're right from lane 5.
So Lincoln in lane 5, but look at Armwood moving up in lane 6. It's going to be Lincoln, Armwood, going to come down to this last handoff, and it's even, but right now it's Armwood, followed by Lincoln. Here comes Lincoln, coming back the last 50. It's going to be Lincoln to get the state championship, followed by Armwood, and then followed by Pine Forest in 3rd.
Pine Forest in 3rd, but boy, what a battle to the end between Lincoln and Armwood. 41.06 for Lincoln. 41.15 for Armwood. So a pretty fast close there, and Lincoln and Armwood back and forth. In 3rd place, Pine Forest at 41.8.
Well, if you're Lincoln, you're very happy to end off your season in the 4x1, going the fastest you've gone all season. Previously, they'd gone 41.26 at the regionals. This week, they increase it by 0.2 of a second, going 41.06. As we now see the guys down getting their awards for the 1,600 meters.
1,600 meters, of course, that is Ryan Schnelly of Charlotte High School finishing in 1st place. Avery Lopez of Bellin Jesuit at 2nd. Joshua Pelletier of Palmetto Ridge 3rd. Mac Reynolds of Nice 4th. And Francisco Teodor of Bellin Jesuit in 5th. But again, a fast racer in the 4x100 meter. Lincoln ran a 41.55 in the prelim, a 41.06. We mentioned 3rd place Pine Forest at 41.80. Kathleen in 5th, Norland in 6th, Martin County finishes 7th, and Dillard in 8th place. St. Cloud did not finish. Ida S. Baker was 4th.
Well, what a great way for Joshua Pelletier to round out his high school career in the 1,600. third place tonight. Like I said, he's going off the University of South Florida. Had a real good cross-country season, but man, he's really started to shine. Does a lot of training with the folks down there. Carlos Miranda, a little bit banged up right now, but those two guys, a lot of fun to watch from down in the Fort Myers, down in Southwest Florida area, where the running just keeps getting better and better and deeper and deeper. They've got so many diehards down in the Fort Myers area.
Now we move on from that. We move to the girls 400-meter dash final. Kyrie Tabor of Hallandale at 55.30 was the top preliminary time. She will start in lane 5. In lane 1 will be Denaria Bryce of Cape Coral High School. Jasmine Pierce from Pine Forest will be in lane 2. Tatiana Etienne from Lake Worth in lane 3. Sharika Barnett from Oak Ridge in lane 4. Kyrie Tabor, as I mentioned, from Hallandale in lane 5. Lane 6 will be Shakima Wimbley from Dillard. Lane 7, Jurian Ordway from Hillsborough. And lane 8, Hallie Grimes of Land O'Lakes. Lane 9 is Quanisha Allen from St. Augustine.
Well, the fastest seed earlier on, Kyrie Tabor, 55.3. Really went fast in the prelims. The question, Marty, is, did she go too fast? You have to run prelims in 3A and 4A in the 400. Man, it'd be really nice to just kind of cruise through those prelims and save up a little bit for the finals that we have this evening. But she's been solid all year, Kyrie Tabor out of Hallandale. She has the fastest time in 3A of 55.41. So she can go faster. I mean, she's gone 55.30 in the prelims, so that was actually her fastest time of the year and the fastest time in 3A. But it was in the prelims, so now we get a chance. Is she able to recoup and come back in the 400 finals?
Yeah, not a lot of time between the prelims and the finals. You raced about 4:30, and here you are back about 7:15 racing the finals. As this is our third and final session today here on the FHSAA network of the 3A state championships from UNF and Hodges Stadium, the campus of UNF here in Jacksonville, the 2012 FHSAA boys and girls track and field finals. I'm Marty Paulman. I'm joined by Dr. Bob Cook of DistancePreps.com, who has been educating me on the world of track and field all day today, and I very much appreciate it. And it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. It's some great racing, and we'll see it again tomorrow with the 4A championships.
Your first announcing ever at a track and field meet. The same with
Learn on the fly.
The same with Mike right out last week.
Yes.
And what a lot of fun it is to work with you guys.
Mike and I have done a lot of games, but not track and field. So we've been educated, and we thank you, Dr. Bob, for being on site here. You're definitely a huge help.
Well, I appreciate that. A lot of fun. Here we go. Just about ready to go with the girls 400-meter dash finals. And it's a fair start. We'll be keeping an eye on Kyrie Tabor out of lane 5, our favorite coming in. Fastest time in 3A, 55.30 out of the prelims. And the fastest time in the state. Quite a bit better than that time, 52.19. We saw her last week win 3 championships for a total of 14 during her high school career. Robin Reynolds out of Miami-Jackson.
Jorian Ordway of Hillsborough out to the lead again. As we saw in the prelim, she got out to an early lead. But now here comes Tabor.
Tabor looking pretty good in lane 4, and also Shakima Wimbley out of Dillard in lane 5. Sharika Barnett drifting back just a little bit, and just on the outside of Shakima Wimbley, Jorian Ordway right now in 3rd. But Kyrie Tabor, don't let that prelims fool you. She's able to come back, get the championship win, and it's going to be a really fast time as well. Wimbley in 2nd, Ordway in 3rd.
54.26 for Kyrie Tabor. Shakima Wimbley from Dillard in 2nd at 55.11. And 3rd place does go to Jorian Ordway of Hillsborough with a 56.21. 4th, Sharika Barnett from Oak Ridge, 56.62. Fast race. And Kyrie Tabor wins the girls' 400-meter dash.
And I'm really impressed with that time. 54.26, her previous PR, 55.30. That's more than a second.
Wow.
Which, at the rate they're moving is probably 7 or 8 yards. It's really quite a distance to be able to make up that much time. Hats off to Kyrie. She went out hard and held it.
Well, and that is a fast time as we go to the medal stand. And We take a look at the champions of the girls 4x100 meter relay, Northwestern High. They get it done, the Northwestern Bulls. The girls 4x100 meter relay champs as they continue to add to their point total at 47.26 or 46.33 in the final. They had a 47.26 in the prelim. Stanton in second. Miami Norland finishes third at 47.74. Gainesville in fourth at 47.78. Blanchili in fifth. So Northwestern with 59 points for 11 events. Lake Weir in second. Wellback with 23. Pine Forest in third with 20. Evans in fourth with 18.5. And Lakewood Ranch in fifth at 18. So, boy, the Miami Northwestern Bulls really putting a stranglehold again on another state championship, this time in 3 after winning it in 4A the last 2 years on the girls' side. There you see the Northwestern team.
Well, if you're Childs at this point, you're feeling pretty good. They're right back in 6th place right now, 17 points, just a point behind Lakewood Ranch, Evans, Pine Forest, and Lake Weir. But we know we've still got the 800 coming up and the 3200 for the girls from Childs.
Coming up, we'll have the boys 400 meter dash in just a moment. The final of that as Kyrie Tabor again wins the girls 400 meter dash. Kyrie Tabor from Hallandale High School. Moves Hallandale now into 7th place with 16 points. Gainesville now, or Dillard in a tie with Hallandale with 16. Blanchili in 9th overall at 15.5, and Gainesville High in 10th with 14.
Well, some very happy relay teams as they step off the podium, get ready to go with the boys. 400 meter dash. You know, earlier on we saw a great time thrown down by Mr. Davis, Dwight Davis out of Hallandale. State leading time of 47.19. So just like Kyrie Tabor, he went hard in the prelims. Is he going to be able to come back and have a solid 400 outing in the finals? Fastest time in 3A is Davis at 47.19. Fastest time in the state, 46.41. The national leader, 45.19.
Well, Davis starts in lane 5 out of Hallandale. Our current leader up in lane 9 is Edward Hardy.
And I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Davis. He's attacking this first 200, making up room on J.P. Green, John Paul Green out of Carroll City. Does he have enough, or is he going to tighten up this last 100? Coming back on his right shoulder now, John Paul Green out of Carroll City. Does Davis have enough? Coming up in lane 3, he wasn't a factor in the prelims.
Whoa,
Nick Urubu coming back, and he's going to win it.
Wow.
Nick Urubu out of Bartram Trail. He took it easy in the prelims. I really thought he was kind of down and out. That's the way to finish off a 400
Boy,
and
he
get
did.
a championship. Nick Urubu out of Bartram Trail. I think he even surprised himself.
Well, we were looking at Davis and Green going at it in 5 and 6, really all the way down the stretch. Uruburu gets it done from Bartram Trail, a 46.76 after he ran a 48.09 in the prelim. And Juan Paul Green comes in second at 46.80, third Dwight Davis of Hallandale. So quite a finish. I think we thought coming in Uruburu would be one of the favorites, and he cruised in the preliminary round, and that time, boy, he turned it on in the end, and Uruburu is your state champion.
Well, I'll tell you, his stock just went up tremendously. If you think of the state leader, 46.41, world junior champion Armand Hall, and then you take a look at Nick Uruburu going 46.76, and Nick's only a junior, so he's got huge upside potential. What a race for Nick Urubu out of Bartram Trail.
So Urubu gives Bartram Trail some points on the boys' side, as we thought they would be a contender tonight. And there it is, a 46.76 for Urubu. Juan Paul Green at 46.80. Dwight Davis 46.89 in third. Jeffrey Green from Northwestern in fourth. 47.64 Sialamar Ways from Nice in fifth. Christopher Thompson from Gainesville High in sixth at 48.07. Kendrick Young from Gainesville in seventh at 48.30. Edward Hardy from East Lee County High in ninth, and eighth, and Jordan Clark from Fort Lauderdale High School in ninth. So with that, Bartram Trail moves up to 6th place with 19 points in the 3A boys team total right now. Miami Northwestern in first with 26, thanks to Jeffrey Green with his 5 points. Gainesville High in second with 23. A tie for third, Miami Carroll City, Gulf Breeze, and Bell and Jesuit with 20. And now Bartram Trail in a tie for sixth with Hillsborough with 19. It is as close as you can possibly get through 12 events.
Well, Nick taking a half second off his PR. Tonight he went 46.76. His previous PR 47.26. So that's a half second. That's a pretty significant improvement in the finals after having to run a prelim earlier on. And he does his part for Bartram Trail. You know, Bartram Trail, the favorite coming in, but a lot of folks were probably thinking, okay, they're down and out. Maybe they'll be fighting for second or third. Nick does his part by getting them 10 points and helping them out tremendously.
Now we're moving on to the girls 300-meter hurdles final. And in this we'll see Kamani Austin Reese of Central High. She had the best time in the prelim at 42.61. Meanwhile, on the medal stand, you see the champions of the boys 4x100 meter relay, Lincoln High School out of Tallahassee. As they get it done there, does Lincoln. And they were able to just defeat Armwood in the end and win that state title. Lincoln now in 8th overall with 16.5 points as they pick up 10 for first place. Armwood in second. Pine Forest finished third in the boys 4x100 meter relay. IDS Baker in 4th place. Coming up, we have the girls 300 meter hurdles. We mentioned in lane 1 we'll have Shakira Bartley of Lake Worth. Lane 2, Kamisha Atwell of Evans High. Lane 3 will be Victoria Abnathy of George Jenkins High School. In lane 4, Jonna Whitaker from Pine Forest. Lane 5, Kamani Austin Reese from Central, who had a 42.61 in the prelims. Lane 6, Jamaica Glades of Dillard at a 42.62. Lane 7, Yolanda Springer of Northwestern. Lane 8, Jessica Montalvo of Palmetto Ridge. And lane 9, Jasmine Wilkerson of Evans High. As you look at Lincoln, the Trojans, again the champs in the 4x100 meter relay final. That was quite a race between Lincoln and Armwood at the end. Now we move along to the girls 300 meter hurdles.
Well, this ought to be a battle as well. We've got all the favorites making it through. I fully expect another three-way battle in the girls 300 meter hurdles. Favorites going in, Jonna Whitaker, Kamani Austin Reese, and Jamaica Glades. Pine Forest Central and Dillard all represented squarely in the middle of the track on the far side of the stadium here at Hodges Stadium.
Yeah.
Just about ready to go.
Jonna Whitaker won in 2010 in this event at the 43.0. Last year, Kamani Austin Reese with a 43.26. So 2 state champions already in this race, maybe the 2 favorites as we have our 300 meter hurdles final coming up here from Jacksonville.
Fastest time in the state, 42.13, Khadijah Dueling out of American Heritage. And the class leader for 3A, she's in this final, 42.49, Jamaica Glades. Did that at regionals last week, and it's a good start.
Started the girls 300 meter hurdles. Attention athletes, this is the final call. Girls 800 section 1. Will also be the final call for girls 800.
Looking good out in lane 5, Kamani Austin Reese out of Central. And also Jamaica Glades out of Dillard. It's actually Jamaica Glades that's going to come off the final turn with the lead. Kamani Austin Reese and Whitaker with plenty of work to do. Looking really good. Jamaica Glades out of Dillard. Only 2 more hurdles to navigate. And just like we thought, it's going to go 6-5-4. The favorites in the center of the track. Getting the win, Jamaica Glades second, Kamani Austin Reese, and third, Jonna Whitaker.
Well, yeah, there you go. Those were the 3 that you just mentioned. And they all 3, they finished 1, 2, 3. And this time, it is Jamaica Glades getting a state championship. The defending champion, Kamani Austin Reese, comes in second. And the champ 2 years ago, Jonna Whitaker, in third. A 41.79 for Jamaica Glades of Dillard High School. And we mentioned second place, Austin Reese from Central High. And third, Jonna Whitaker from Pine Forest.
Not all that far off the state record of 41.34 set by Tiffany Ross out of Miami Northwestern way back in 2000.
42. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think she really probably could have gone a little bit faster if she had a little bit more pressure. You know, not really clean over the last couple of hurdles, going over sideways. Those are things that she'll be able to improve on at the next level. Jamaica Glades out of Dillard.
42.31 there for Austin Reese. And not far off that was Jonna Whitaker in third. So those are your top three in this girls 300 meter hurdles final. So Dillard will pick up 10 points in the team event. And then we will now move along to the boys 300 meter hurdles final.
Well, we didn't get a chance to see a state record or a nation leading time thrown down by Artie Burns in the 110s. Will we see something special in the 300 hurdles? You know, when you talk about a Brashawn Jackson and you're possibly faster than him at this level, that's pretty darn elite company. Artie Burns out of Miami Northwestern, and a superb hurdler, and the guys tell me a superb, very tenacious football player as well.
Well, that win by Jamaica Glades now moves Dillard into third place in the girls team standings in 3A. Miami Northwestern pulling away with 64. Pine Forest is second now thanks to Jonna Whitaker's third place finish with 28. Dillard in third with 26. Lake Weir is in fourth place with 23. And in fifth, Evans High School with 19.5. The boys 300 meter hurdles final will once again. And
just about ready to take the track. Will be interesting to see. It looks like they're going to put them down in the blocks, and we'll come back for some of the awards right down below us.
Well, we'll get a chance to see Artie Burns again here of Northwestern. He'll be in lane 4. 38.66 in the prelim. Jarvis Sumler of Pensacola, he's in lane 5 at a 38.5, which was the best time in the preliminaries.
Well, in the prelims, if you saw it live on Play On Sports and the FHSAA Sports Network, and Artie's going to put his arm up and they will let everybody stand up here. You never know if that's a little bit of gamesmanship on, you know, Artie Burns' part. He's probably really used to big races. He knows possibly that he's not really set, not ready to go. It's a freebie if he can stand up and get everything set, make sure that he's absolutely squared away, ready to toe the line. You know, a state leading time, national leading time on display, quite possibly for Artie Burns.
Evan Jennings of Hillsborough in lane 1. Devon Borders of Choctawhatchee in lane 2. Antonio Duncan from Hallandale in lane 3. Artie Burns in lane 4. Jarvis Sumler in lane 5. Paul Barrett from Gaither High in lane 6. Daniel Fauché from Harmony in lane 7. Larry Donald from Bartram Trail is in lane 8. And Kenneth Richmond from Fort Myers High School will start in lane 9. And they're going to have the medal ceremony, but now they'll wait for the race to end as everyone sits on the podium.
Yeah, well, that'll come up right after this race. You know, we saw Artie just absolutely cruise, basically jog the first 80 meters of the 300 hurdle prelims earlier on. Be interesting to see if he attacks this first hurdle, if he attacks the track tonight and really tries to throw down a special time. State meet record on the line, 36:01 by Brashawn Batman Jackson out of Miami Central in 2002. And it's a good, fair start. Burns not out all that quick, but very solid and safe over the first hurdle. Also good in lane 5. That's Jarvis Sumler out of Pensacola. A couple of missteps for Artie. Not something that I would expect to see him at this level. He knows the second half of the race he can come back at will. But also out in lane 6, that's Paul Barrett out of Gaither. So Artie Burns has some room to make up. Here comes Jarvis Sumler out of Pensacola. This will be a big shot if Artie Burns is not able to win the state championship. In lane 6, Paul Barrett is going to get the win. Jarvis Sumler in second. And Artie Burns, hopefully he's okay. He is going to get third. And he is hopefully going to be okay. You know, we've seen Artie tugging at his left hamstring and his left quad pretty much the whole day. Probably just a little bit more embarrassed than anything at this point. Hopefully he didn't hit the track too hard.
Paul Barrett of Gaither High School wins at a 37.29. In second place, it's Jarvis Sumler from Pensacola at 37.54. And Antonio Duncan finishes third out of Hallandale. And Artie Burns comes in 7th as he was fell across the finish line at 39.53. In 4th place, It was Devin Borders from Choctawhatchee. So your winner, that's Paul Barrett. Now we'll go to the medal stand, and there is Kyrie Tabor from Hallandale, as she will receive her medal for the 400-meter dash championship.
Hey, mommy. That's it.
And that was the race just a few minutes ago. Jorian Ordway came in third. And from Dillard High, Shakima Wembley in second. So congratulations there. And Paul Barrett gives 10 points for Gaither High School on the boys' side. And right now, I tell you, any points are good because it's so close. Gaither now moves to 8th place with 18. Northwestern leading it with 28 on the 3A boys' side. But there we see once again Kyrie Tabor.
As far as the team standings going, I'm trying to think down the road what events some of these competitors have for some of these specific teams. Miami Northwestern, they're very safe right now in the lead and in command. The teams that I'm looking at, the Pine Forests of the world, Evans, Lakewood Ranch, and possibly Childs. Although Childs, you know, they only brought 5 competitors. They're not the deepest of teams at a state championship. Everything has got to go absolutely perfectly for them. They need a solid 30 points from Lily Williams to see if they're going to have a chance. Lakewood Ranch, maybe they will make a run a little bit later on. They've got some distance events coming up that they're fairly solid in as well.
Coming up next, the girls 800-meter final. This will be the first section of that. And the top time here is Erin Blackwell out of Springstead at 2:21.11. She'll be in lane 5. In lane 2, it's Nicolette Marsh from Fort Lauderdale. Lane 3, Caitlin King out of Bartram Trail. Lane 4, Avery Chapman from Atlantic Coast. Lane 5 is Erin Blackwell from Springstead. Lane 6 is Alexis Jacobs out of Northwestern High. And lane 7, Erica Fizel of Evans High School. And lane 8, Torrencia Allen from Northwestern. These are the faster times. The section 2 will be a little bit slower. Actually, pardon me, these are the slower times. Section 2, we will see Alexis Irwin from Osceola. She has the top time coming in at 2:14.28 in the regionals, as they are seeded according to their regional time.
Well, we'll see Lily Williams once again in section 2, trying to do the triple the hard way at the state meet. She's already won the 16. She'll have her shot at the 800 in the second section and the 3200 a little bit later on.
And we are ready for the girls 800-meter final, section 1. FHSAA finals record is Skylar Wallen, Miami Northwestern, just 3 years ago, 2009, 2:09.44.
So down the backstretch, 150 meters in. Fastest runner in 3A in the 800. We'll see her in section 2, 2:11.22, Lily Williams. And the fastest time in the state force, 2:09.44. Only a 7th grader, a real phenom out of American Heritage Plantation, Daisha Rogers. And Aji Wilson going off to Florida State University. She'll be a Seminole in the fall. She has the fastest time in the nation at 2:05.28. So these girls know out of section 1 they've got to run as fast as they can. They've got the fast section coming up behind them. Well, they've really started to settle down. Everybody falling into single file down the backstretch. 280 meters to go. Only a couple of strides separating 1 through 3, and then it's 10 meters back to 4, 5, and 6.
Boys 800, section 1. First call, boys 200.
Hard to...
Will we see any lead changes here? It's been pretty static the last 400 meters. They will come down in front of the grandstand.
Attention coaches.
It is Avery Chapman of Atlantic Coast, I believe, in the lead.
Can she hold on? I think coming up from 4th place, Alexis Jacobs out of Miami Northwestern.
Oh boy, he is turning it on. That is, Alexis Jacobs will win the heat, the section. And a 2:19.32 for Alexis Jacobs.
Laying off the early pace and coming back in the last 100 meters.
Avery Chapman of Atlantic Coast in second at 2:20.56. And we'll see if those times stand up in this 800-meter final. One more section to go involving 9 runners. Third place, Caitlin King at 2:21.38 out of Bartram Trail. And fourth, Erin Blackwell from Springstead, 2:22.60. Nicolette Marsh in fifth. Sixth place is Terencia Allen and Erica Fizel in seventh. So now we will have section 2 coming up. Alexis Irwin of Osceola ran the fastest time in the region at 2:14.28. We'll see Lily Williams, though, in lane 9 from Childs High School. Jessica Brinson from Terry Parker will be in lane 1. And Taylor Tubbs of Sebring in lane 2. Rachel Greer from Melbourne in lane 3. Kristen Zarella from Lakewood Ranch in lane 4. Alexis Irwin in lane 5. Danielle Avery from Naples in lane 6. Sierra Hawkins from Hillsborough lane 7. Christy Thorstensen from Lely in lane 8. And Lily Williams again from Childs will be in lane 9.
Well, Lily Williams ought to be really competitive in this 800 as well. The question is, just how much can Kristen Zarella, can Alexis Irwin, can Danielle Avery, the girls that can go 2:14, 2:15 on any given night, how much can they push Lily Williams? I think she's going to be able to win at will. The question is, does she have so much taken out of her that she's not able to come back and complete the triple in the 3200? And Lily Williams at the back of that pack as they come through the first 200 in 31 seconds. So right around 2:02 pace, very fast, very early on. Lily Williams laying off the back of that pack right now and moving up very slowly. Rachel Greer moving up as well. Rachel Greer is going to take the lead as they come in front of the grandstand for the first time. And Lily Williams not going to let the likes of Rachel Greer get too far out in front. She's going to cover that move as well.
So she is now moved into the lead as Lily Williams. Actually, Taylor Tubbs from Sebring did not start. I had mentioned she was in lane 2. Lily Williams, though, heading in the lead.
So 65 seconds, that's 2:10 pace. That's fairly solid. Nobody's going to be able to come back in a 65. Lily could possibly do it if she really wanted to. I think she could possibly make a charge of that 2:09.44 set down by Skylar Waller. But she's probably not going to do it at the expense of giving away 10 points possibly in the 3200 later on. So that's what a really, really strong, confident runner looks like. Lily Williams taken to the lead. Alexis Irwin now into second out of Osceola. And that's Rachel Greer out of Melbourne in fourth. So the race really is for second. But they're making up some room on Lily here as they come off the final turn. It's Lily Williams. She's going to be 20 points for Childs. She's going to be your 800-meter champion. When it's all said and done, the race is really for second. Can Alexis Irwin hold on to second place? And look at that, cruising to a 2:12 for Lily Williams. A good time for Alexis Irwin, getting the runner-up in section 2 and overall out of Osceola.
We'll see if any of the earlier times were able to get to the medal stand. At 2:12.45 for Lily Williams. Second place, Jessica Brinson. Alexis Irwin from Osceola at 2:14.28. 2:15.09 for Danielle Avery from Naples. In fourth place, Rachel Greer out of Melbourne High, 2:16.38. So did we have any times from our first section make it into the medal stand, as they're now honoring the 400-meter finishers? Nick Uraburu from Bartram Trail, your state champion. Juan Paul Green in second, and Dwight Davis in third.
Fourth place for Miami Northwestern, Jeffrey Green.
And sure enough, we're going to have at least Alexis Jacobs up on the stand for the girls in the 800 out of Section 1.
So that's some more points for Northwestern, as that is the case. So you see Nick Uraburu with a come-from-behind win in the 400 meters. So congratulations to him and Bartram Trail. Let's see where that puts us. Well, computer is shut down, so we'll give you the point totals in just a minute as we're going to head on to the girls 800 meter wheelchair adaptive here in just a moment.
So Nick Uraburu goes 46.76, 10 points for Bartram Trail. John Paul Green second, 46.8. Dwight Davis third, 46.89. And the standings right now, Miami Northwestern with 26. Gainesville High School with 23. They're in second. Miami Carroll City in third with 20. Gulf Breeze tied with Miami Carroll City right now at 20, along with Bellin Jesuit. And in sixth place will be Bartram Trail High School. So going back to that girls 800, not good news for Lakewood Ranch as Kristen Zarella gets pushed off the stand and will lose an important point for Lakewood Ranch as Alexis Jacobs sneaks in out of Section 1 for 7th place in the girls 800.
So coming up, we'll have the girls 800 meter wheelchair adaptive. And apparently we have two racers. So we only have one listed, but let's see if we can find out something there maybe as well. You just mentioned the team totals. And how about Lily Williams getting more points there for Childs?
Well, it makes that 3,200 even more special later on this evening. Can Lily Williams do the triple? You know, we haven't seen the triple done in a couple of years. The last time I can remember it being done was on the boys' side for the distance triple with Justin Taylor, who went off to have a great career at the University of Florida. Very, very hard to do. These races are so compressed at the state meet level. They're so darn efficient that you don't have a whole lot of time to recuperate.
So the 800 champion, Lily Williams, the 1600 champion, and you mentioned the 3200. That'll be coming up here in about 30 minutes or so. So it is a quick turnaround for Lily Williams to try and go for that triple. So we'll see if she can do it. Childs now in third place with 27, 1 point behind Pine Forest with 28 points. Northwestern with 66, still well ahead through 14 events. And now on the medal stand, we are seeing the winner of the girls 300 meter hurdles. Jamaica Glades out of Dillard coming in first. Second place, Kamani Austin Reese from Central. In third place was Jonna Whitaker from Pine Forest. As we figured these would be the top three, and they were. And this time it's Jamaica Glades getting a state championship in the girls 300 meter hurdles. The last 2 years it was Kamani Austin Reese. Last year, Jonna Whitaker in 2010. So how about that? The last three state champions of the 300 meter hurdles up on that stand in 1, 2, and 3.
Really, really solid core of hurdlers.
And Dillard picks up some points there as well, putting them in fourth place in the team competition. Northwestern, boy, they are running away with it on the girls' side as we may have expected, and the Northwestern boys are holding on right now as well to first place here in 3A. But a much closer competition there between them and some other schools, including Gainesville High School. So I guess we have, let's see, we have Ariel Rawson.
Yeah, no stranger to state competition. Get a chance to see her once again. I've seen her compete a couple years now at the state championship. This is the third year that the adapted sports events have been included in the state finals. And Ariel Rawson, one of the competitors that we get a chance to see compete quite a bit. Senior out of North Fort Myers. Racing against the clock. You know, there's a couple of techniques that are very, very important. One of the things they will do is make sure that there are no objects on the track that could possibly puncture one of the tires. They'll do a sweep and make sure that the track is free of anything that may cause damage to the wheels. And she'll be racing against the clock, so.
Out of North Fort Myers High School. We'll have the boys 800 meter wheelchair coming up, as well as the girls 200 meter wheelchair adaptive, as the boys 200 meter wheelchair later on. And she's off.
Well, her best time so far, her PR is 2:46.49. That would be nice to see her get a PR tonight after she's done with the 800 meter wheelchair adaptive. She also does the 200 and the 55 meter dash. Also does the shot put. So an all-around athlete, Ariel Rawson out of North Fort Myers. Earlier on this year, I had the pleasure to go down to Charlotte High School for the Tarpon Invitational. I had a chance to see Ariel compete. At that race, she went 3:25.22.
She was your state champion last year.
So returning state champion from 2011 in both the 800 and the 200, and also in the shot put.
Go ahead, give her a hand. Got one more lap.
At 1:20 right now.
So going for the three-peat tonight. It's not a question of whether she's going to get the three-peat tonight in the 800. That's a given, assuming she makes it all the way around the track. We'll get a split for her. She comes around. It'd be really nice to see her go below that 2:46 mark. Right now, a little bit behind pace, 1:35 as Ariel comes across with a lap to go. She's dropped down into lane 1. There's a lot of training that goes in to be able to maneuver that wheelchair around this track for 2 full laps.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of stamina involved there. A lot of arm strength as well. Crowd giving her a hand, good hand here as well.
And a lot of technique involved. A lot of technique involved to get to this point where you can navigate the wheelchair all the way around in a long distance event like the 800 on the track. So Ariel right around 135 after 400. So right around 3:10 pace. She has just a little bit less than 200 meters to go. White flags around the track. Everything is good. She will come off the final turn and head for home. This will be Ariel's 3rd state championship in the 800 meter event. And you know, the last couple of years, it's been a different location. She's been down at Winter Park, down on the track at Showalter, and now she will get the win in the 800 here at Hodges Stadium. And a big hand. I think you can probably all hear it from a crowd that is very appreciative. Head down and heading for the line. Ariel Rawson out of North Fort Myers comes across in right around 3:12 point.
Ariel Rawson 3:13.05, and again her 3rd state championship in a row in the 800 meter wheelchair adaptive. The crowd was very appreciative. Nice hand from the crowd, which, by the way, this crowd has really been building, and we are almost packed here. Very close to a full house at Hodges Stadium, the University of North Florida. You would expect the weather cooling off tonight.
They've got some room to grow. That's one of the nice things about Hodges Stadium. No stands yet, other than some temporary bleachers on the east side of the stadium. They've got lots of room to grow, though. Hopefully they'll get some stands on the other side. That would be really nice for the athletes that are down the backstretch to hear some of that crowd noise. They have a couple of folks over there right now, but I think a couple years down the road, maybe some funding comes along and we get a full stadium-like atmosphere at Hodges Stadium. It can hold 9,400 people as it is right now. 3A is a lot bigger crowd than it was for 1A and 2A. Wait until we get to 4A tomorrow night, and we get a chance to see, you know, some of the outstanding athletes and the relay teams and a lot of the folks that will be there on a beautiful full moon. It's just absolutely gorgeous as we look out over Hodges Stadium.
Full moon over Northeast Florida. Here in Jacksonville, hosting this event for the first one. They hosted it back in 2005 at Wolfson High School. As we have the winners of the boys 300-meter hurdles being honored. That is Paul Barrett from Gaither High School came in first.
Brandon!
Second place, Jarvis Sumler from Pensacola. And coming in third was Antonio Duncan out of Hallandale.
And noticeably missing, you know, from that podium is Artie Burns, falling over the last hurdle, and the 9th competitor not up on the stand. They'll only take the top 8. So a little bit of a disappointment for Artie Burns. He'll bounce back though. And a very good win for Paul Barrett out of Gaither High School, 37-29 for the win and 10 points for his school.
Well, the girls track and field championships have never been in Jacksonville. It's the first time. The boys were here back in 2000. I saw this somewhere. There it is, 2006 at Wolfson High School. Before that, the last time Jacksonville hosted.
You've got to go way back to the beginning of the turn of the century, I think.
Yes, 1915. Actually, yeah. Actually, it never had. This tournament started in 1915. It was at the University of Florida for many years. Moved to Winter Park, where it was in Winter Park for many years, and back to the University of Florida in the 90s. Spent a couple years at Coral Springs High School. We are ready for the boys 800-meter run. Top time here coming in was Jose Cartagena of Estera High School at 1:57.86. He started in lane 5.
This will be the slower of the two sections. That second section is going to be a little bit quicker, guys, dipping down into the 152, 153 range. So the fastest seed, like you said, coming out of this section, Jose Cartagena out of Estero.
Right now in lane 1. Pardon me, lane. It would be lane 9, actually, wouldn't it? That is. Oh, actually, sorry.
Yeah, that's Kyron
Hollis
out of Hillsboro.
They started in lane 8.
So starting to stretch it out. Only 380 meters in. Hollis will bring them through right around 55 high. So right around 150 pace. Now moving up on his right-hand shoulder, going to be making a bid for the lead. That is Nathan Orphanides out of Archbishop McCarthy. Comes in 158.43.
Kyron Hollis currently in second out of Hillsboro High.
But coming up out of third now. That's the fastest seed coming in. That's Jose Cartagena. Running pretty smart, laying off that early pace. 200 meters to go. He is going to be moving up, trying to challenge for that second spot now. Does he have enough to catch the leader? Orphanides out of Archbishop McCarthy.
Orphanides looking in control right now, but you're right, here comes Cartagena.
And if Cartagena gets close, he's going to move to the inside and possibly go along the rail. No, he's going to have to go outside. It's going to come right down to the wire. Does he have enough to get him at the line? Not enough. Cartagena just a little bit short. Orphanides will get the win. Cartagena in second. And 157.23 will be the winning time.
So Cartagena 157.23 out of, actually pardon me, Orphanides with a 157.23 is the winner of section 1. Archbishop McCarthy. Cartagena from Estero second at 157.49, and then third it's Kyron Hollis 159.30. Fourth place goes to Marcus Smith from Carroll City. And fifth, Brandon Jones from East Bay High School. Chris Wilkinson from Land O'Lakes in sixth. Seventh place, Corey Holt from East Lee County is in seventh.
Well, this will be obviously the faster of the two sections. We've got the 3A state leader Ryan Schnelly out of Charlotte. Already mentioned going off to the University of Florida next year, a baby Gator right now. But he is just a little bit slower than Andres Arroyo, who threw down an outstanding time of 1:51.04 at the Florida Relays earlier on this year. The national leader, still kind of early for most folks across the nation, but he's already gone 1:48.82. Drew Mahaga out of Pennsylvania. You know, I can remember back when I started covering track and field early in the 2000, 2001 time frame. There was a guy that was kind of under the radar down at Miami, Washington. His name was Tim Harris. Turned out to be a pretty good 800-meter runner in the high school ranks. Went off to the University of Miami, finished up there, and then went pro for just a little while. He holds a state meet record, 1:49.75. So in this race, Marty, I fully expect it's going to be probably down to two runners. The two I'm looking for, maybe a little bit of a surprise to most folks, Jake Burton out of Martin County and also Ryan Schnelly. We saw Schnelly win the 1600 earlier on, going 4:16. How much did that take out of him? You know, is he going to be able to hold off the last 80 meters or so if needed? A guy like Jake Burton out of Martin County, another up-and-comer, a guy that had a great race early in the season at the Florida Relays.
Well, in the lead right now, it's Brandon Ballard out of Bartram Trail. Following him is Gene Cambry from Central. And now moving up, Jesse Close out of Lincoln High.
Alrighty, so here they come. 3 or 4 wide through the first 400, right around 56 mid. McGee will give up the lead. Schnelly will cover that surge. And he is in second, actually in third, with Jake Burton now starting to move. And a lot of movement with 300 meters to go. Jake Burton in second, Ryan Schnelly in third. As they come
currently up, Jonathan Moore of Jefferson in the lead.
With 200 meters to go, this last 200, it's going to be an all-out sprint. There's 5 guys in the hunt.
Comes Schnelly.
Burton is a little bit boxed in right now. If you want to, you're going to want to move out at this point if you're Burton and start moving wide. Jonathan Moore going to give up the lead to Ryan Schnelly, but here comes Burton. Burton looks like he's got a little bit more in him. Is he going to be able to get by Schnelly in the last 20 meters? Not going to happen. Ryan Schnelly so tough over the last 50. Decent time, 1:52 point. Burton will get second out of Martin County. Just like I said, I thought it'd come down to those two guys. Wasn't sure if Ryan was going to have enough to hold him off after that 4:16 in the 1600 earlier on. And Moore holds on. There's a name that we haven't heard a whole lot of, Jonathan Moore out of Tampa Jefferson, going 1:54.53.
Ryan Schnelly, a 1:53.15. As you can see, he wins for the second time tonight following his victory in the boys 1600 meter earlier. So there's 10 more points for Charlotte High School, as second place does go to Jake Burton of Martin County. And you mentioned Jonathan Moore of Jefferson in third.
You got to be happy if you're Ryan Schnelly. You've done your part for your team. You've garnered 20 points. I really like Jake Burton. It looks like he's going to have to find a second gear at some point over that last 40 meters. He looks very game. He's going to grow into that body of his, become a very solid runner. I believe he's unsigned right now. I know he wants to take a look at a couple of schools, but nothing in the pipeline, nothing solid that I know of for Jake Burton out of Martin County.
So Ryan Schnelly again in first, Jake Burton second, Jonathan Moore third. So more good news for Charlotte High School, as now they have moved into third. 25 points is continuing tightened race here in the 3A boys side through 14 events. Bartram Trail is in the lead with 27 as Brandon Ballard finishes 5th in that race. So Bartram Trail takes a 1-point lead over Miami Northwestern with 26. Charlotte now in third with 25. Gainesville High School still in 4th with 23. Hillsboro in 5th with 22, and 3-way tie for 6th, Belen Jesuit, Gulf Breeze, and Carroll City with 20. So we still are very tight as we look back to the medal stand. And we see the girls 800 meter finals, and there's Lily Williams picking up another first place finish. Alexis Irwin coming in second out of Osceola.
Alexis Erwin.
And third place goes to Rachel Greer out of Melbourne.
In 2012,
So congratulations to them. But that boys, I tell you, that team championship on the boys' side is so close right now through 14 events. Still a ways to go, but now we've seen Bartram Trail rise to the top. We mentioned they're one of the favorites, and they're only up 1 point, but thanks to Nicola Roburu's win, that really helped. And now Brandon Ballard picking up 4 points for his team. Bartram Trail moves into first.
And leading after 14 events with 66 points, Miami Northwestern.
Miami Northwestern continuing to lead on the girls' side. As we will now move ahead to the boys 800-meter wheelchair adaptive. Coming up,
Matt Giordano, he'll make his way up to the starting line for the 800.
out of Lecanto High School. Following that, we will move along to the girls 200-meter dash. A chance once again to see Tristy Johnson go for her second state championship of the evening, as she won earlier in the 100-meter dash out of Ed White High School here in Jacksonville.
The boys team scores after 14 events. In fourth place with 23 points.
Well, they'll take a look and make sure that the wheelchair is all set. Everything is good to go. And he's got about another 50 meters before he'll be on the starting line. Matt Giordano out of Lecanto comes in a seat time of 3:19, Marty. 3:19 on his seat time. He was Region 2 for 3A, placing first in both the 200 and the wheelchair adapted. Looks like a first-year competitor, also competes in the shot put.
Next event on the track is the boys 800-meter wheelchair.
Representing the Lecanto Panthers, Matt Giordino.
Lecanto High School, Matt Giordino.
So we've seen Ryan Schnelly with a couple of state championships tonight. And there goes another Osprey. Or possibly a seagull of some kind, or full moon. That looks spooky. They didn't put that full moon anywhere you want, I guess. There it is.
Great to be able to carry the state championships live here on Play On Sports as part of the FHSAA Sports.com network. Get a chance to go back and watch all these races later on demand. It'll take just a little while for the videos to process.
Tomorrow the 4A championship will get started at 1 o'clock. Again, we'll be with you, Marty Paulman, along here with Dr. Bob Cook. And we will be here tomorrow. It'll be the final day of the 2012 FHSAA Boys and Girls Track Finals. Last weekend was Class 1A and 2A.
Just about ready to go. 800 meter wheelchair adapted. Sole competitor Matt Giordino. A white flag, just about ready to start.
Oh. And well, the gun goes off, but not quite sure what happened. As he didn't move. Officials are talking to Matt. Is he too far forward? That may have been what it was there in lane 2 in the starting block. So we will try it again. As you said earlier, Dr. Bob, this is Matt against the clock, as we saw earlier with Ariel Rawson, of North Fort Myers, in the girls 800 meter wheelchair.
And underway. Matt Giordano 2 laps around. Matt's PR, 3 minutes flat point, 9.5 seconds. Be really good to see him walk away with a state championship and also a new PR here in the 800-meter wheelchair adapted race. Sole competitor, so it's just him and the clock. Coming up on the 200 split, right around 50 seconds flat. So he'll move down into lane 1.
Looks like on the team side right now, on the girls side, it's really a battle for second place. Miami Northwestern with 66 through 14 events. They are 38 points ahead of Pine Forest, but Pine Forest has 28, Childs with 27, Dillard with 26, Lake Weir with 23, Evans with 19.5, Lakewood Ranch with 18. All these teams still with a chance to finish second. Miami Northwestern really running away with on the girls side.
134 after the first 400.
We just went over the boys' totals, very close there, with Bartram trailing out to a slight 1-point lead.
So the second 200, a good 6 seconds faster than the first 200. Well, if he's going to try and get down below the 3-minute mark, he's just a little bit off pace right now. Needs to make up about 4 seconds.
This is Matt Giordano coming up on 200 meters left to go. Come on, guys, let's pop him in. Matt Giordano. 150 meters
Crowd will
left
get
to go.
up and give Matt a nice hand as he now approaches the 3-minute mark.
$80 meters to go over Matt. Not going to be a PR, but it will be his first state championship. He is the class of 2014. So we'll get a chance to see him if he's back competing again next year. As he comes across, we'll call it 3:22.
3:22.47 for Matt Giordano out of Lecanto High School. He is your state champion in the boys 800-meter wheelchair adaptive, joining Ariel Rawson, who won on the girls 800-meter wheelchair adaptive. We'll see Ariel again here in a few minutes in the girls 200-meter wheelchair as well. Moving along now to the girls 200-meter final. And again, we mentioned Tristy Johnson. We'll see her. She was in 23.77 in the preliminary. That was the top time. She'll be in lane 5 out of Ed White High School in Jacksonville. Lane 1, Victoria Guerra of Naples High School. Lane 2, Cedrina Singletary from Paxson. Lane 3, Khadidra Jackson of Gainesville. And 4, it'll be Carol Hardy of King High School. Tristy Johnson in lane 5. Atara Clark from Evans High in lane 6. Felicia Flewellen from Palm Bay in lane 7. Ravon Trinice Gage from Northwestern in lane 8. And Relina Little from Springstead High School in lane 10. Or lane 9, pardon me. Only have 9 lanes. Not 10, haven't got that many. So the girls 200-meter final coming up here from Hodges Field at UNF, Hodges Stadium in the University of North Florida campus.
Well, we had a chance to see Tristy Johnson win earlier on in the 100-meter dash. She'll be the favorite coming back in the 200-meter dash. She'll have some competition, though. Girls 200. Tristy coming in 23.77 on her seed time. Also look for Carol Hardy out of King High School down in lane 4, and Atara Clark in lane 6 out of Evans.
Fifth place, Frozen Trail High School, Brandon Ballard.
And Atara Clark, runner-up earlier on in the 100, right behind Tristy Johnson out of Ed White High School.
Third place,
So really, really close if you think about it in the 100 earlier on, and maybe just as close in the 200 as we look down and we get the boys getting their awards in the 800-meter final.
53.79, Jake Burton.
800-meter final where the champion there was Ryan Schnelly. Once again, there he is from Charlotte High School. Jake Burton from Martin County, the runner-up. Third place going to Jonathan Moore out of Jefferson High School in Tampa.
Ryan Schnell.
Guns up. Guns up.
Well, that will be it for Ryan Schnelly, finishing off a great career at Charlotte as we get ready for the start of the girls' 200-meter dash.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier the all-time FHSAA finals record. Erica Whipple set it in 2001, a 23.36 out of Palm Beach Lakes in 4A.
And the fastest time in the state this year and also in the nation, Shayla Sanders out of Boyd Anderson at the Sam Burley Hall of Fame Invitational. She's already gone 23.25. Just about ready to go. Girls 200-meter finals here at 3A. And they will bring them up and do a reset down in the blocks.
Tristy Johnson again with a 23.77. Was the top finisher in the preliminaries, top time. She'll be in lane 5, trying to add to her 100-meter dash championship from earlier today.
If you're lucky.
And a good fair start second time around.
There comes Tristy Johnson.
Out good in lane 5, but also in lane 6. That's Atara Clark out of Evans. Tristy Johnson, Atara Clark now coming up in lane 4. That's Carol Hardy out of King High School. But it's going to be Tristy Johnson out of Ed White winning her second state championship.
We called her Local Lightning. She's from Jacksonville, Ed White High School. 23.80 for Tristy. A little bit off her time from the preliminaries. Second place will go. Carol Hardy at King High School ends up at 24.25. Taking second. Third was Tara Clark from Evans at 24.88. Fourth place, Felicia Fluellen out of Palm Bay High School. So Tristy Johnson with 2 state titles today. Victoria Guerra in 5th. 6th place to Khadidra Jackson. 7th was Ravon Trinice Gage. 8th place goes to Cedrina Singletary.
Attention umpires.
A pretty fast race all around.
Umpires, please sweep the track.
But again, it's Tristy Johnson. So Ed White will pick up some more points behind Tristy Johnson on the girls' side. Those are the only points they picked up tonight so far. Now with 20, that will move them up near the top 10 as well. As again, no record set for Tristy Johnson, but she has been very solid at 23.80 there, getting the win, and easily, as we said, Carol Hardy coming in second from King High School. As again, Ed White now moves into 7th place with 20 points ahead of Lakewood Ranch. In the girls 3A team totals, Northwestern with 68 points leading the way. As the Ron Trinice Gage picks up 2 more points there with the 7th place finish. Pine Forest in second with 28 as the battle for second place really heating up more than anything else. So we're going to go back to the girls 200-meter wheelchair adaptive. This will be Ariel Rosin, who just won the 800-meter wheelchair adaptive state championship. North Fort Myers High School, a senior.
Some of the fans enjoying the action here at Hodges Stadium. We'll get a chance to see Ariel take to the track once again. And we also get a chance to see Matt get his award. Matt Giardino winning the boys 800-meter wheelchair adaptive. Ariel comes in with a PR of 42.57 in the 200-meter race.
It will be Ariel against the clock to win another state championship.
Well, just recently, back on March the 30th, she went 50-43 at the Lee County Athletic Conference Championships for the win. Well, it's been a busy day for Ariel.
And as you said earlier, Dr. Bob, making sure the track is clear, so there aren't any impediments for tires to go out on the wheelchair.
And Ariel once again racking up some important points for North Fort Myers. She will garner another 10 points, assuming she finishes the race here. And North Fort Myers will be looking pretty good to bring home another state championship, courtesy of Ms. Rousen.
This is obviously going to be pretty tough coming off the 800 meters that she just performed in the wheelchair. A lot of endurance there, and she's out to a pretty good start.
Give her a hand. She's got 100 meters left to go.
Well, about 100 meters, a little bit less now, right around 30 seconds. Looks like she's starting to accelerate down the final straightaway. Right around 50 meters left to go.
She's going to get well under 60 seconds, right around 50, 48 seconds. So Ariel Ross, a nice time there in the 200-meter wheelchair adaptive.
And I think that'll be a season best.
48-47.
Yeah, below her 50-43 from Lee County earlier on.
Latara Clark, please come to the awards podium. Latara Clark, please come to the awards podium.
So there you go. 2 state titles for her today in the 800-meter and 200-meter wheelchair adaptive. And now we're going to move back to the boys' side, the 200-meter dash. The final coming up here from Hodges Stadium at UNF. And a chance again to see Kendall Williams.
Kendall Williams and a couple of other guys in this race, but Kendall Williams thrown down a 20.89 earlier on. But you know, anything is possible in this race. I don't think anybody fully expected that Artie Burns wouldn't be at least in the top 2 or the top 8. Going all the way back to that 300, we had a chance to see Paul Barrett win. You know, so there you go. Anything can happen. Kendall Williams out of Stanton Prep. The fastest seed coming in, but he's going to also have some folks on either side that should be pressuring him in this race. Roshard Williams out of Lincoln in lane 4. Trayvon Bromell out of Gibbs, only a junior, in lane 6.
Yeah, Rayvon Tyler from Oak Ridge in lane 1. Cialamar Ways from Nice in lane 2. James Clark from New Smyrna Beach in lane 3. Richard Williams is from Lincoln High in lane 4. Kendall Williams in lane 5. Trevon Bromell in lane 6. Tyrell Johnson from Island Coast in lane 7. Christian Roberson from Hallandale in lane 8. And Lamar Campbell from Fort Lauderdale in lane 9.
It's a fair start. The state meet record 20:58 by Dentarius Locke. And Williams looks good out in lane 5. In lane 4, that's Richard Williams. But it's all Kendall Williams right now. Richard Williams in lane 4. And coming up for third, it's going to be really close. But Williams is going to get it in a very fast time. It's going to be 20 mid. It's just a matter of, is he going to be faster than 20.89 earlier on, or possibly even faster than 20.58?
21.05. Kendall Williams a little bit off. It's the Williams and Williams show. Richard Williams finishes second. And Cialamar Ways from Nice comes in to finish third. Just edging Trayvon Bromell. who's in fourth. So Williams 21:05, Williams 21:44, Ways 21:47, Brummel at 21:57. So Kendall Williams also picks up a state title, much like Tristy Johnson, who has won the 100 and 200 meter tonight on the girls' side from Edwine High School in Jacksonville. Kendall Williams picks up a 100 200 meter championships from Stanton Prep here in Jacksonville.
You know, we saw a really fast 200 last week from Levante Whitfield going 20.96. We saw 20.89 from Kendall Williams earlier on today in the prelims. That leaves just 4A, and Marvin Bracey and a bunch of other guys that'll be chasing really fast times in the 200 meter run tomorrow.
So with that finish, as we look down again for another medal presentation, Tristy Johnson receiving her second state championship medal of the day, coming in first place in the girls 200 meters. Second place goes to Carol Hardy of King High School. Third to Atara Clark from Evans. The boys' standings continue to tighten up here in 3A. Bartram Trail still on top with 27, Northwestern with 26, Lincoln at 25.5, Charlotte at 25, Gainesville at 23. Wow, it's just pretty much from first to 11th is only separated by 7 points, and now Stanton with 20 thanks to Kendall Williams. They're in a tie as well.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Miami Northwestern is going to win this championship. The question is who's going to get second. Last week, Childs a little bit better than Pine Forest in the regional meet. And Childs now squarely in third with 27 points. Not too far behind them, Dillard in 26. What's really going to hurt Childs, I think, is they don't have anybody in the 4x4. They're going to really have to hope that the 3200 goes their way.
Second call, girls 4x4. First call.
Well, we're moving along now to the
Second call, girls 4x400 meter relay.
boys 200 meter wheelchair adaptive. We'll take a look at Matt Giardino again from Lecanto, who just won the 800 meter wheelchair adaptive. But again, Kendall Williams, as we mentioned, we thought he'd be the favorite, and sure enough, he lived up to his billing, as did Tristy Johnson, both easily winning the 100 and 200 meter championships tonight.
Yeah. I think the biggest surprise of the night is Artie Burns not getting up on the podium, and Paul Barrett out of Gaither getting the win in the 300 meter hurdles.
Yeah, Artie Burns a winner earlier in the 110 meter hurdles, but you're right, he took a fall there later on and came up a little bit short in the 300 meter hurdles, which was won by Paul Barrett. So once again, Matt Giardino, whose regional time was 44.14. But again, we're going to have an interesting run to the finish for the boys' side. It's going to come down to probably the very last event of the evening. 7 points separating first from 11th place. And the 12th place team, Gaither, is 9 points back.
Well, Childs will have two girls in the 3200, two very solid runners in Rachel Givens, Carly Thomas, and actually Lily Williams. So a total of three. They're going to rack up some points, I think, in the 3200. They don't have anybody in the 4x4, but Pine Forest does. And Pine Forest will be in the slower of the two sections, so that's a disadvantage. Right now, you're feeling pretty darn good if you're Childs, looking at that runner-up position here at the state championship for 3A.
And there goes Matt Giardino, who again will win a state championship. Just a matter of his time here. See if he can beat his regional time of 44.14.
And he's already gone 43.68 this year at the district meet. So a little bit slower at the regionals, but now is where the time counts. Trying to get below 43.68. This is his first year competing. So will he go out on a high note with a really fast time? Looks really good to me. Coming down the last 50, head is down. Not moving a whole lot left to right, staying squarely in lane 2. And this is going to be a really fast time. Oh, well, it's going to be right around 45 mid. So maybe a little bit slower than he's gone in the past. And we'll go with 45.85. And he will rack up another 10 points and get a state championship.
So Matt Giardino, for the second time tonight, gets a state championship in the 200-meter wheelchair adaptive and the 800-meter wheelchair. That's a 45.85 time for Giardino. And back on the medal stand, we see the winner of the 200-meter dash, Kendall Williams. Second state title of the night for the sophomore. Boy, he has a couple more years to go at Stanton Prep. And he is celebrating on the medal stand as the second place finisher there.
And a little bit of a headwind, 1.1. Kendall Williams gets the win for Stanton. And we still get a chance to see him for 2 more years.
Second place was Richard Williams. Third, Cialamar Ways of Nice.
And a good race for Cialamar Ways in third, coming back. Not the greatest of prelims, but he comes back and gets it done, finishing up third for Nice in the boys 200 meters.
We're going to move now to the girls 3,200 meter championship. And here we're going to see the favorite out of Lakewood Ranch, Olivia Ortiz. We saw her earlier come in second place in the 1,600 behind Lily Williams. As you continue to look at Kendall Williams, who the Stanton Prep runner was, looked like a Superman logo there on his uniform. Olivia Ortiz ran a 10:53.91 in the regional. That was the top time. She will be in 5A. Katie Solis of Estero in lane 1A. Rachel Gibbons from Childs in 2A. Marianne Aguilar of Archbishop McCarthy in 2B. And then we'll see if Lily Williams can go for the triple. She'll be in 3A. She ran 11:04.76 in the regional. Denise Saravallo of Harmony in lane 3B. Anne-Marie Blaney from Bellevue in 4A. Morgan Rodriguez from Cardinal Gibbons in 4B. Olivia Ortiz in 5A. Vanessa Valentine from Melbourne in 5B. As you see the runners here. In 6A, Caroline Barlow from Gulf Coast. 6B, Nikita Shaw from Wiregrass Ranch. 7A, Devin McDermott from Lakewood Ranch. Claudia Concello from Mitchell in 7B. Carly Thomas from Childs in 8A. Venus Garcia from Mater in 8B. And Allison Wilson from Leesburg in 9A. We're underway.
Well, she's looked solid all night, trying to get the triple done. She's going to have some competition out there. She's got Foot Locker finalist state champion Olivia Ortiz. She's also got Carolyn Barlow. Don't forget about Anne-Marie Blaney, Vanessa Valentine, Nikita Shaw. Several runners in this field that if they really push the pace, they could really make the types of a Lily Williams trying to get the triple done. Very, very hard to try and pull off that triple event. And it's Anne-Marie Blaney now out to the lead, followed by Olivia Ortiz in second. Vanessa Valentine in third. Anne-Marie Blaney going off to University of Central Florida next year. Senior out of Bellevue High School. The fastest time in the nation in the 3,200. And my goodness, the times are getting quick. 10:08.11 by Sarah Baxter. And the state meet record set just about 5 years ago. The great Ashley Brassvan out of Wellington now running up at Duke, where she went 10:13.45.
Lily Williams, the two-time defending champ in this race, 11:11.46 in 2010 and 11:56, 11 even .56 in 2011. We'll see if Lily Williams, right now running in fourth position, saving the energy, as the leader is Yanis Aravallo.
So Anne-Marie Blaney continues to lead. We'll get a split on them at the half. Olivia Ortiz in second, Vanessa Valentine in third, with Lily Williams down in fourth, followed by Carly Thomas and Rachel Gibbons out of Childs down in right around seventh. You know, it wasn't that long ago that 3 Childs girls all went under 11. I think it's probably the first time it's ever been done. by a Florida team in the same race. They had 3 girls under 11. Can that feat be repeated tonight? So we've got a couple things to look at. Can Lily Williams pressure and get another state championship, add to Childs' points for the night? You know, if it's all said and done, Childs could walk away if they go 1-2-3 in this race with 24 points. But Anne-Marie Blaney right now leading right around 240 at the half. So right around 10:40 pace. But running very comfortably, almost, too comfortably, I think, as the rest of the pack behind her right now. They've got to know that they've got some really top talent in this field. It'll start to stretch out here over the next couple of laps. That's Nikita Shaw out of Wiregrass Ranch. She had a great race in that 3200 up at FSU, coming from way off the pace to finish second. Olivia Ortiz in third, with Lily Williams in fourth, Carly Thomas and Rachel Givens in that pack right behind our leader, Anne-Marie Blaney. And now Lily Williams will move up squarely into third, Nikita Shaw in second, and Anne-Marie Blaney out of Bellevue continues to lead.
Yeah, right behind her is Devin McDermott. Pardon me, that's not Devin McDermott.
Yeah, Devin McDermott right now about probably about 15th or 14th in this race.
It's like Nikita Shaw actually in second.
Yeah, that's Nikita Shaw out of Wiregrass Ranch. They'll come through 4:02 with Anne-Marie Blaney in the lead, Nikita Shaw, Lily Williams, Olivia Ortiz, Vanessa Valentine, and Carlin Barlow out of Gulf High School. She's been having a great season. Well, you want to be able to cover any surges here if you're Olivia Ortiz or Vanessa Valentine or Barlow or even Carly Thomas in that second pack. You know, Anne-Marie Blaney, she's going to continue to press the pace. She knows she's got to press the pace along with Nikita Shaw. They don't want Lily Williams to be in this race with 2 to 3 laps to go. Lily's so darn tough and in really, really good shape right now. And she's just settling into the pace, back in third place. Kind of tucked in, making sure that she's covering all these surges, or in at least a position to cover the surges if Anne-Marie Blaney decides to really drop down on one of these laps and really increase the tempo. So the chase pack, Olivia Ortiz, Vanessa Valentine, Carly Thomas, Carolyn Barlow, and Rachel Givens. So Childs right now, they've got scores in the top 7 positions and in the top 8 right now. So that lead pack all includes the runners from Childs, which are going to be very important if they garner some points.
It really would help them in that battle for second, probably would move them into second for good. It's still going to be, obviously, catching Northwestern probably not possible at this point. There's a pack of 5 runners that are 4th through 8th position. There you got your top 3 at the front, including Lily Williams in 3rd place.
So they came through the 1600 right around 5:21. So 2:40, 2:41. It's a continuous pace being set by Anne-Marie Blaney, with Nikita Shaw just right behind her heels and Lily Williams in 3rd. It'll be interesting to see if this chase pack that is now 30 meters back, is anybody going to try and catch up to the leaders, or are they going to settle in and settle back and maybe move up to garner a 4th place position when it's all said and done? That's a good ways to make up. That 40 meters when you're running at this pace seems like an eternity. Be able to turn over the tempo and start moving. The only hope they have, that chase pack right now, is that either Nikita Shaw, Anne-Marie Blaney, or Lily Williams starts to come back with them. But you know, they talk about the power of the pack. If these girls that are now 50 meters behind our leaders are able to work together and increase the tempo slowly, lap after lap, they can start to eat into that difference. But Anne-Marie Blaney doing the heavy lifting up front comes across in 6:40. So that was an 80-second lap. The rest of the girls in the second pack coming through in 6:51. So there's 11-second difference, which seems like an eternity at this point, unless you start moving together as a pack. Vanessa Valentine there, Rachel Givens, Carly Thomas, Carolyn Barlow, and Olivia Ortiz.
Ortiz in 4th. They're battling back and forth. Again, Lily Williams moves into 2nd now ahead of Nikita Shaw and still trailing Bellevue's Anne-Marie Blaney.
And a smart move by Lily Williams to go past Nikita Shaw. She's falling off the back end a little bit. You know, it's only about 2 or 3 meters, but that distance will continue to grow between Anne-Marie Blaney and Nikita Shaw. So that's where Lily wants to be, right on the heels, letting Anne-Marie Blaney know that she's right there. Yes, she's run a couple races already, but look at how easy she makes it look. The arm swing is very good. The leg lift is very square, as opposed to maybe an Anne-Marie Blaney, who seems to be laboring a little bit. She's been doing most of the work up front, a really solid pace for her. And in third, that's Nikita Shaw out of Wiregrass Ranch.
Crosses in around 8:02 does Blaney. Lily Williams right behind her with 800 meters to go.
Carolyn Barlow now and Olivia Ortiz starting to get a little bit of separation from Carly Thomas, Rachel Givens, and Vanessa Valentine, along with Devin McDermott.
Now Shaw falling back now into third place. Further behind, Williams is right on the pace of Anne-Marie Blaney. Right in position to make a run here in the last part of this 800 meters.
Well, Anne-Marie Blaney is a solid 3,200 meter runner. She's got the second fastest time in the state. She's already gone 10:35 at the Florida Relays. These are the 2 fastest 3,200 meter girls in the state, and they've got 500 meters to go. Can Lily Williams keep it close, and can Anne-Marie Blaney start to stretch it out enough that Lily won't have anything to come back on her, or is Lily going to get the triple? We haven't seen the triple done in a long time here in the state of Florida. Moving up now on the shoulder. Absolutely right, Marty. Looking very good. You take a look at where her eyes are focused right now. She knows she's got a lap to go. She's going to try and duck down into lane 1 just ahead of Anne-Marie Blaney. Anne-Marie's got decent closing speed. We had a chance to see it earlier in the Pepsi Florida Relays. Nikita Shaw in third. And running a little bit more than Olivia Ortiz right now is Carolyn Barlow, as she's on the outside of the turn, and she's been there for about the last lap and a half. So 270 meters to go. Lily Williams down the backstretch. She hasn't put away Anne-Marie Blaney yet with 200 to go. We'll see if there's anything left in the legs of Anne-Marie Blaney.
Yeah, she's falling back a little bit. It looks like Lily Williams is extending that lead as we come to the final stretch. And she is extending that lead.
Nikita Shaw in third, but here comes Olivia Ortiz and Carolyn Barlow. They're only 10 meters back with less than 200 to go.
Looks like we're going to get, well, possibly.
Well, what a great triple for Lily Williams as she finishes up a great high school career for Coach Gowan and Childs. Finishes in 10:30, just about a state leading time, and a good time, a PR for Anne-Marie Blaney, right around 10:32.
Here comes Shaw trying to limp in third.
Nikita Shaw, can she hold him off? Oh, and down goes Olivia Ortiz. Hope she's okay. Nikita Shaw will finish up in third. Carolyn Barlow in fourth. This will be important points for Rachel Givens out of Childs coming across. Carly Thomas will finish up.
We hope Olivia Ortiz is okay. She is down in the back stretch. And
Devin McDermott and Vanessa Valentine finishing up as the rest of the girls come across.
And you're right, the triple has been accomplished. And what a triple it was for Lily Williams, who really dominated the 800 and the 1600. And in the 3200, she made the move when she needed to. And a nice run for Anne-Marie Blaney, who comes in second, 10:32.50. Williams at 10:30.62. And in third place, also a good run for Nikita Shaw from Wiregrass Ranch at 10:49.62. But Olivia Ortiz is still being tended to
Well, I
on
can
the
tell you
last part here.
The stadium is in absolute shock. She hasn't really moved a whole lot. Hopefully she's going to be okay. Olivia Ortiz going down a little bit awkwardly with right around 50 meters to go, as she was neck and neck with Carolyn Barlow out of Gulf High School.
What a good race that was for Lily Williams, and her career, and more points there for Childs. As we will update the standings here in just a moment. You got to think that's going to help Childs in move into second place.
Well, I know they've got some medical attention down, helping out Olivia Ortiz now as they bring down the stretcher.
Keep going, Manny. Keep going. Keep going. You got it. Keep going.
The rest of the girls finishing up. Sherry Enders down on the track, a registered nurse, so they've got some medical attention down there with her.
Looked like her left leg was the issue. I don't want to speculate, but she was running, trying to come up into third place and finished second earlier to Olivia Ortiz. So,
well, it's hard to think about the impact that this is going to have going forward. You know, Lakewood Ranch, as far as the team championship was concerned, needed every point that they could hope for in this race, and Olivia Ortiz an important part of that. Obviously, her health is the main factor right now as she went down awkwardly in the last 50 meters. Well, we'll get a chance to see a couple of the competitors receive some awards right down in front of the grandstand.
yeah, that is the wheelchair champions, Matt Giardino, and the 200-meter wheelchair adaptive, and Ariel Rawson on the girls' side, Matt Giardino on the boys' side, are receiving their medals as well. And we will have the boys' 3,200-meter final coming up. And the leading time there in the regional, Thomas Howell of Niceville High School, 9:29.65. So you see Ariel Rawson there in the middle from North Fort Myers, and Matt Giardino from Lecanto High.
First place, North Fort Myers, Ariel Rosin, 30 points. Congratulations, Ariel.
So North Fort Myers is the team champion in the wheelchair adaptive portion, thanks to Ariel Rawson.
And she has racked up a lot of hardware over the last couple of years.
So coming up, the boys 3,200-meter run championship. And we'll see if this started here as Olivia Ortiz has been put on the stretcher down the back stretch. And we hope she's okay, obviously. She's a junior for Lakewood Ranch. And the crowd standing and giving her a nice hand.
Hey,
as she's
what's
taking
the name
off.
of the hospital right now? 9895. St. Luke's? St. Luke's. St. Luke's?
Well, it sounds like they're going to take her to St. Luke's Hospital, which is right up the road here from the University of North Florida. We're at Hodges Stadium here at UNF for the 2012 FHSAA Boys and Girls Track Finals. This is the Class 3A State Championship as we are winding down here in 3A. Tomorrow we will have 4A for you. We have 6 more events tonight. Actually, pardon me, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more events tonight to go.
Well, we got the boys 3,200 coming up.
I'm sorry, there's 4. My bad, I was looking at 2. So 4 more events tonight, the girls and boys 3,200 meters and the girls and boys 4x400 meter final. So here comes the boys 3,200. Actually, we just did the girls. Here's the boys. We have 3 more to go. And we'll have Aaron Rojas in lane 1A from Estero, Zach Beslima from Steinbrenner High in 2A, Andrew Iglesias from Pembroke Pines in 2B, Max Del Monte from Chamberlain High in 3A, Herbert Gates from Naples High in 3B, Suki Kosla from Leon High in 4A, Lee Shearer from Naples High in 4B, Thomas Howell from Niceville in 5A, Avery Lopez from Bellin in 5B, Mac Reynolds from Nice in 6A, Travis Nichols from Lando Lakes in 6B, Ben McMahon in 7A from Leon High, Cody Atkinson in lane 7B from Port Charlotte, Tyler Beslima in lane 8A from George Steinbrenner High School, Michael Magulis from Bellin in 8B, and Fabian Tomas from Bellin in lane 9A.
Well, the fastest time in 3A, Avery Lopez out of Bellin Jesuit. He'll be in this heat as well. in the final for the boys. The fastest time in the state so far, 9:10:37. Andres Arroyo at the FSU relays. And the fastest time in the nation, Marty, Futsum Zeno Selassie out of Indiana.
Oh.
Northern Arizona University signees gone 8:47.75. So underway with the boys, 3,200-meter run. A couple of guys I'm really looking at seeing in this race. I think, we take a look at a lot of the youth that's up and coming. Take a look at the third fastest seed coming in. Suki Kozla out of Leon High School, only a freshman. This is a big stage and a big step up for guys like Suki out of Leon. He'll be followed also by Ben McMahon out of Leon High School. Thomas Howell out of Niceville. Mac Reynolds out of Nice. Those will be the top 4 runners that I would expect to maybe start moving to the front of the pack based on regional times. But we've got a lot of good competitors. As it looks kind of pedestrian out there right now, Max Del Monte in this field. He'll be going off to Florida State University, run for Coach Brayman and the Seminoles next year. We've got the Best Lima brothers, Tyler and Zach. As these guys coming across kind of slow, they're going to be 3 and 4 wide in front of the backstretch. Or it's in front of the grandstand, I should say, for the first time as they come across right around 71 seconds. So nobody really wanting to take the lead at this point. Mac Reynolds down in second. Avery Lopez along with Magoulas. Lopez on the back end of that pack. And Magoulas right now running around fourth.
Yeah, everyone pretty close to the best right now in this opening part of the 3,200 boys final.
Well, they sure make a 71-second lap look easy. They are looking really, really efficient, kind of keeping that pack together right now, which you like to see. A lot of these guys will get a good ride off the back end. I really anticipate that the second half of the race, the tempo is going to start to increase. So you want to be positioned where you can move with the pack, not out where you're under any kind of oxygen debt as they come through in 2:24.
Almost a trip there as they cross the line for the first time.
So a 71 followed by a 73. Really haven't seen anybody want to take the lead. The likes of a Max Del Monte or a Mac Reynolds. The guys right now, the Best Lima brothers, Tyler and Zach, controlling this pace from the front. And now we get a chance to see Ben McMahon for the first time out of Leon High School in the red and white singlet. Moving in between the Best Lima brothers, Tyler and Zach, down into third now with Mac Reynolds in fourth. And the freshman, Suki Kozla. You take a look at his progression over the last year, Marty, and it's just been unbelievable. He gets into that distance program there at Leon, starts working with guys, the likes of Ben McMahon. Coach Wills and the other coaches there just have really brought him along nicely, making a state championship final in the 3,200 and running it smart. You don't want to see a freshman leading this pack. You want him to be down with the rest of the guys as they come through in 3:36.
Yeah.
So they drop a 72 on that lap.
And no real distance right now. Nobody really standing out or moving ahead of anyone else. Huge pack up at the front. You mentioned the Best Lima brothers up there out of Steinbrenner High School.
Pack still staying together fairly nicely at this point. And a runner out of Bellin now into the lead. Mac Reynolds going to cover that move with the Best Lima brothers back into third and fourth. And Max Del Monte will go with Mac Reynolds as well. So Avery Lopez to the front of the pack. Mac Reynolds in tow. Max Del Monte along with Thomas Howell now. Thomas Howell in a good position. This is where I like to see guys They know they're coming up on the 1,600-meter mark. Out of trouble, not along the rail. And they're going to come through in 4:49.
A very relaxed pace right now, it seems.
So a 73. They went 71, 73, 72, 73 to come across in 4:49, right around 10:48 pace, or 9:48 pace, I should say. Lopez, followed by Mac Reynolds. A couple of guys I haven't seen, but I know they're up-and-comers. Tyler and Zach Best-Lima out of George Steinbrenner. And a couple of the Belen Jesuit guys starting to make a move now up towards the front of this pack. It's Mac Reynolds in the lead. Max Del Monte covering the surges and making a surge of himself, trying to get out of that pack right behind Mac Reynolds and Fabian Tomas out of Belen.
Well, they are very, very tight right now with still a ways to go here in this 3,200-meter final.
For the most part, the pack is together. There's only one runner that is way off the back end as they come through in 6:02. So a 73-second lap. Mac Reynolds, Tomas. We've also got the Best-Lima brothers up front. And Max Del Monte, presently in fourth. We know that Max has got great finishing speed, going off, like I said, to FSU next year. Max running very easy right now. This is ideal for Max. I think he's the type of runner where if it comes down to a lap and a half, he could really turn the wheels and be in the hunt for this state championship. And Thomas Howell now into the lead, followed by Mac Reynolds in second. And the Best-Limas, they've been up in that pack the whole time, right now down along the rail. So that's McMahon actually in the lead with Howell coming up on his right-hand side. Max Del Monte is there. Mac Reynolds is there. These guys just keep changing leads and positions ever so slightly as they come three abreast here. Crossing in 7:15. So another 73-second lap. They've been consistent 73, 73, 73 the last three laps.
Still seeing the Best-Limas up near the front.
Yeah, the Best-Lima brothers looking around a little bit. This is really a step up in competition for them. And now we're seeing it 650 meters out. You know, this is where you're really going to make a charge if you're the type of runner who doesn't have that great finishing speed. You want to be able to put all the guys like a Max Del Monte or possibly a Mac Reynolds, somebody that's got decent speed. And here comes Avery Lopez. You know that he's already gone really, really quick in the mile earlier on. And he is a 4:16 type of miler.
Thomas Howell trying to take control here as he had the top speed coming in the regionals.
And what a gutsy move for Thomas Howell. Only a sophomore. You know, we got a chance to see his guts out on display during the cross-country season. He knows he's got to push from a ways out. He knows he's got guys that are kickers right behind him. Look how easy Max Del Monte looks in second as they come with 300 meters to go. Thomas knows this is probably his only chance to maybe try and break a Max Del Monte. Avery Lopez back in third. Max coming up on the right-hand shoulder now and going to make a move with just a little bit 200 meters to go before he gets into the turn so he doesn't have to run that extra distance. Howell in second. Howell is not done yet, but Max Del Monte making it look good. You know, I saw Coach Brayman here earlier on today. This is the type of moves that Max will be making many, many times down the road for Coach Brayman and the Knowles. So Max Del Monte looking very good. Thomas Howell out of Niceville in second. Avery Lopez in third, but here comes Mac Reynolds. Mac Reynolds going to move into third with Max Del Monte getting the win in 9:24. Howell with a game, 9:26. Max Reynolds in third, 9:29. Avery Lopez in fourth. McMahon out of Leon in fifth.
Del Monte with a 9:25.11. gets the win out of Chamberlain High School.
And there's Suki Kozla out of Leon. Only the freshman, right around 9:47, gained a lot of experience in that race as the rest of the guys finish on up.
Thomas Howell, 9.2749 in second place out of Niceville High School. And
that is more exhilaration and, you know, the fact that he realizes, hey, I've just won a state championship more than anything else, I think, for Max Del Monte.
Mac Reynolds of Nice comes on to finish third. So Chamberlain picks up the win. And by the way, with Lily Williams winning that race in the 3200 girls final, Rachel Gibbons 5th, Carly Thomas 6th, Childs now in command of second place with 16 events down. On the girls' side, Miami Northwestern with 68 way out front, but Childs now with 44. They've opened up a lead as Pine Forest has 28, Dillard with 26, and Evans in 5th with 25.5. Lake Weir in 6th with 23. So now we will update the boys' standings here after the 3200 boys final comes to an end. But congratulations to Max Del Monte. Turns in a 9:25.11. He had a 9:37.15 in the regionals.
Well, it'd be really nice to see if we can get back some of this stadium noise. We're going to hear some really raucous noise here when these 4x4 teams take to the track. The last event of the night, a couple of state championships on the line.
And again, it looks like Miami Northwestern in control on the girls' side in 3A. They won the last two 4A titles, but the boys' championship is going to come right down to this last event. And how about this? As Max Del Monte comes in first. Belen Jesuit with Avery Lopez finishing 4th, getting 5 points. Moves ahead of Bartram Trail by 1 point. 28 points for Belen, 27 for Bartram Trail, 26 for Northwestern, 25.5 for Lincoln in 4th, Charlotte in 5th with 25, Gainesville High in 6th with 23, Hillsborough in 7th with 22, Nice with 21, three-way tie, four-way tie for 9th, Stanton, Gulf Breeze, Hallandale, and Carroll City with 20. And it is going to come down to the very end tonight as we have the girls 4x400 meter relay final coming up.
And unfortunately,
Section 1.
Unfortunately, Belen Jesuit not going to have a team in the 4x4. So the most points they will score tonight are 28. Bartram Trail will be in that final section of the boys 4x4 along with Miami Northwestern. And also, let's see where Lincoln is. Lincoln's going to be in the first section. So not the preferred section for Lincoln. If they're going to make a run, they're going to do it the hard way out of the first section.
Gainesville also in there, and they're in Section 2. Hillsborough's in Section 2.
So just like we thought, the last event is what it's going to come down to in the boys in the 4x400 meter race as we get ready to go with the girls.
We'll see if Childs can hold on to second place. They do not have a team running in this 4x400 meter relay. And here we are in Section 1, the top time run by Pine Forest, a 4:00:48. They will be in lane 5, Largo in lane 2.
And it's really going to be a mute point right now for Pine Forest, Dillard, Evans, and Lake Weir. The most they can garner is 10 points for the win. That will put them at 38 if you're Pine Forest. And Childs has already got 44 after a 30-point triple from Lily Williams. So the tactics of not running a 4x8 earlier on and putting it on the back of Lily Williams to score 30 points and the rest of her teammates to come through when they needed, garnering the points, and they will get the runner-up trophy for the girls.
Yes, Largo in lane 2 here, Lely in lane 3. Lakewood Ranch will be in lane 4. And Pine Forest in 5, Atlantic Coast lane 6, Oak Ridge in 7, Osceola in 8. And you're right, Dr. Bob, that we figured Childs would obviously have a good night from Lily Williams, but she is really almost not quite single-handedly, but they had a good race there in the 3,200 meter final with 3 of the top 7. But Childs definitely deserves that second place finish as Northwestern is going to win another team title. We're off for the finals in the girls 4x400 meter relay.
Largo, Lely, Lakewood Ranch, Pine Forest, Atlantic Coast, Oak Ridge, and Osceola in this first section. running against time. They've got section 2 coming up. They will run the first lap in their lanes. We'll get a good idea once they do the handoffs as to which teams are out in front. They will break on the far side of the track and drop on down into lane 1. Right now looking fairly good. That is lane 5. That's Pine Forest. So Pine Forest looking pretty good. The defending state champions not going to get it done. They can get no better than 3rd today. So Pine Forest looking pretty good. We'll get an idea of what kind of split. I'll give them right around 57.5. Followed by Atlantic Coast in lane 6. And also out in lane 8, very fast, Osceola.
Well, here goes Jonna Whitaker taking this leg for Pine Forest.
She's had a busy night, and she drops on down into lane 1. Pine Forest looking very good. Osceola, they're moving down into lane 1 as well. But Pine Forest 20 meters clear. A leg and a half into section 1 of the girls 4x4 100-meter relay to close it out here at the 3A state championships.
Looks like Whitaker is continuing to extend the lead for Pine Forest. Osceola now back to 3rd.
Right around 156 after 2. So 3:52 pace. That would be a very good time if Pine Forest can stay on track. Pine Forest down the backstretch continues to lead. They are 20 meters clear of second, but here comes a second place team looking to make up some room on Pine Forest on this leg. Atlantic Coast trying to make up some room. Osceola back in 3rd. But Pine Forest, 80 meters to go to the last exchange. Pine Forest, Atlantic Coast, and now we got a battle with Oak Ridge moving up on Osceola. Will they get 3rd at the final exchange? So 2:57 for Pine Forest, 3 flat, so 3-second difference. It'll be Osceola and Oak Ridge. Well, if you're Pine Forest, you want to run as fast as you can these last 280 meters. It's all going to be based on time. They're not going to get the top 2 spots team-wise, but they sure don't want to give up that 3rd position that they're holding on to right now with the likes of Dillard, Evans, Lake Weir, Ed White, and Lakewood Ranch. And Lakewood Ranch in this race. So that will be good. Pine Forest right now looking fairly decent. As good as can be expected at this point. They've got 100 meters to home in the section 1 of the girls 4x4. And a great race for 3rd. Pine Forest is going to win it. That's not a problem. And Atlantic Coast will get 2nd. Here comes Lakewood Ranch. Can she get 3rd in this section? It's going to be right at the line. Not quite. A great lane, but not quite enough. And here comes Oak Ridge coming across.
Lely gets 3rd. 3:58.41 for Pine Forest. Atlantic Coast in 2nd. Lely 3rd. Lakewood Ranch comes in 4th, just edged out at the end at 4:05.88. Lely with a 4:05.85. Atlantic Coast 4:00.60. So those are the top 4 finishers in section 1 of this 4x400 meter relay final. Osceola in 5th. Oak Ridge 6th. Largo did not finish. Back to the medal stand we go. And that is Max Del Monte of Chamberlain High School finishing 1st in the 3,200 meter final. 2nd place finish for Thomas Howell out of Niceville. And Mac Reynolds from Nice coming in 3rd. There's the medal stand for the 3,200 meter run.
Mac going off to the University of Florida next year. Max Del Monte to FSU. They will face each other many, many times down the road. FSU just awarded yesterday the 2012 NCAA South Regional. It'll be at Appalachia Regional Park, and they've also put in a bid to host the state meet. So we were there just a couple of years ago when they were tearing through the brush and making a cross-country course, and now they're hosting an NCAA South Regional. Gulf Winds Track Club, one of the big supporters and one of the big reasons, along with Coach Brayman and his staff and all the folks in Tallahassee. So Max Del Monte gets a state championship in the 3200 to finish off his night and his career.
Now we move along to Section 2 of the girls 4x400 meter relay. The top time here belongs to Dillard High School, 3:52.96 in the regional. And they will be in lane 5. Gulf Coast in lane 1. Hallandale will be in lane 2 as the runners come to the start. Evans in lane 3. Blanche Ely in lane 4. Dillard in 5. Stanton Prep in 6. Northwestern 7. Hillsboro 8. And Gainesville will be in lane 9. And at this point, Northwestern will just a little bit of icing on the cake as they will win another state championship in 3A, the Northwestern girls, adding to their 2 straight titles in 4A before this year. And again, Northwestern in this race will be in lane 7. They had a time of 3:55.70 in the regional.
Well, the real big moves to be made here in this final section, really between Dillard and Evans. Can they move ahead of Pine Forest up into that 3rd spot? Dillard comes in with the fastest seat of 3:52.96. Assuming they win it outright, that'll give them 36 points. So that'll be 3rd behind Miami Northwestern at 68 and Childs at 44. But not to be outdone, Evans High School, you know, their seat time 3:57.26. Evans right now with 25.5. So if they get the win, that puts them at 35, and then you got to see what Dillard scores. So it's all going to come down to the final race.
Yeah, a big race here. You're right. As you still have Gainesville High in there, who's way back, but could move up as well to near 4th or 3rd. Dillard could get into that 3rd position. Pine Forest just ran in the first leg as they won that first leg of that, or the first section of this 4x400 meter relay final, but obviously it's going to be tough for them to hold off Dillard here, you'd think, as Dillard in 4th place can move to 3rd. Again, Childs is wrapped up 2nd, and Miami Northwestern is going to be number 1 again. And after this, we'll head to the 4x400 meter relay final for the boys, and that will decide a state championship. Again, in lane 1, we have Gulf Coast. Lane 2 is Hallandale. And lane 3, it's Evans. Blanche Ely will be in lane 4. Dillard is in lane 5. Stanton Prep in 6. Northwestern in 7. Hillsboro up in lane 8. And Gainesville will start in lane 9. All right, our final event on the girls' side in these 3A state finals from Hodges Stadium here at the University of North Florida.
Well, the time to beat out of that first section, we'll get a chance to see if that time is able to hold up and get up on the podium. 3:58.41 by Pine Forest in section 1. And we're off section 2 of the girls 4x400 meter relay. Marty, the final race of the night. Will we see some movement in some of these teams that are sitting down in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place right now?
Yeah, this will be interesting to decide 3rd through 6th. Then maybe, because 1st and 2nd, again, have been decided. So that's what this race will decide. And on the boys' side, we're going to have a state championship coming up, so that's going to be fun. But a lot still to be determined.
Everybody fighting to move up in the team standings. Always love it when it comes down to the final race of the night and there's still some racing to be done.
Looks like it's Dillard in lane 5, Gainesville out in lane 9. Here comes Northwestern.
Looking pretty close after this first handoff. That's going to be Hallandale. Hallandale 3:58.61 on their seat time coming in out of the regional.
Boy, Dillard now, you're right, in a battle with Hallandale. And Dillard will now move to the lead. And that could clinch third place for Dillard. They could win this. Dillard extending that lead a bit. Hallandale still running in second. Now coming up in third. And then the second, that looks like...
Well, it's going to be really close
Blanche.
at this handoff.
Or pardon me, that's...
Right around 1:53. Well, the fastest time in 3A this year has been thrown down by Miami Northwestern at the City of Miramar Invitational. Northwestern right now sitting back in about fourth, but in a 4x400 meter relay like we're seeing, you can make up a lot of room with a really solid 400 meter runner.
Oh.
And down she goes.
Now goes
That's
Dillard.
Dillard. That's going to have an impact, hopefully, and she is back up.
She fouled, I believe, or got in the way of the Blanche Ely runner. Flags are up. And the crowd is up.
And the flags are down, so we'll see exactly how this plays out. But here comes Miami Northwestern. That's going to have a huge impact for Dillard. They're moving backwards at this point. Right around 2:51.
Evans in first place. Northwestern in second. Hallandale third. Blanche Ely in fourth. Evans, that would be a big win for them as well.
Yeah, Evans with 25.5 points right now. If they get the win, they will be at 35.5 points.
And
Miami Northwestern in a battle. This is going to go down to the last 200 meters between Northwestern and the runners behind them. Hallandale in there. But Evans looking pretty good. They're not going to come back on Evans tonight. Hallandale may come back on Miami Northwestern as they come off the final stretch. And it's going to be faster than the first section, so Evans is going to win. And here comes Dillard. They went down early, but Dillard coming back.
well, we're going to have to see.
And Miami Northwestern second. Dillard, as it is right now, third, and then Hallandale. And we'll see what they say about the runner getting up from Dillard. I think that's what you were alluding to, Marty.
Yeah, that's the flags went up over there as the runner on the second leg went down, got up, and may have blocked the Blanche Ely runner behind. So unofficially, right now, Evans is the winner at 3:49.18. Miami Northwestern in second at 3:51.98. So Miami Northwestern is adding to their total, which is going to win a 3A state title. Evans would finish second, but maybe not. Dillard is right now in third, Hallandale in fourth. So that would give
and
Evans 10, and then Dillard for finishing third would get 8.
So at the best case, Dillard is going to end up with 34.
So then Evans still would pass them.
And Evans would be into third.
And Pine Forest would drop back to fifth with 28 points. Childs in second, Northwestern in first. I don't know. We'll see what the ruling is. It looked like they're on the far corner of the track there. Maybe been a foul of some kind. The flags went up, so I don't know what the ruling will be. Stanton in fifth, Blanche Ely sixth. As the boys 4x400 meter relay will get ready to go. And in this first section, the top time, Tampa Jefferson in the regional, 3:22.90. East Lee County will be in lane 2. Naples in 3. East Bay in 4. Tampa Jefferson in 5. Blake in 6. Lincoln in 7. And Evans in lane 8.
Well, a state championship on the line over the next two sections, the boys 4x4. We've seen this now the third night in a row. 1A, followed by 2A, and now 3A. And we still got 4A to go tomorrow night. Love it when it comes down to the final race, the 4x4. So much on the line. You know, these folks have been competing and training all year long. And really, this is the time to step it up a notch.
And you mentioned it's going to be hard for Bellin to hold on, obviously, with a 1-point lead, because in the second section we'll have Bartram Trail. Northwestern will be in that as well, as will Gainesville, Hillsborough, and we'll see a bunch of schools coming up that will have a shot at passing them. And in Section 1, Lincoln, who's in 4th place. So Lincoln will need to run a good time here, get up into the top time so they can have a shot at the state championship. Lincoln will be in lane 7. And again, Jefferson in lane 5 was the fastest time of the regional.
Well, we got to run this first section first and see what kind of time is thrown down. And then when we get to Section 2, we'll be able to mark off a couple of teams that are not going to be players and not going to be factors. But that second section of the boys 4x4, Marty, there's 3 or 4 teams that are going to be right there. And these teams are not separated by a whole lot in the 4x4. You know, you take a look at the seeds coming in, 318 for Gainesville, 318 for Bartram, 318 for Carroll City. Miami Northwestern sitting right there at 320. Hallandale 320 as well.
And still awaiting the official results for the 4x400 meter relay on the girls' side. I believe the judges are looking to see what happened there with Dillard, who finished unofficially in 3rd place. And like we were just saying, Dr. Bob, it really won't matter. Evans will move into 3rd place overall. Dillard would stay in 4th. But if Dillard doesn't get the points here, that could also be an issue. They could drop back even further.
Yeah.
Back to 5th, actually.
Very important what the official ruling is going to be. So just about ready to go. Section 1 of the boys 4x4, the final race of the night. And we are underway. We'll run them down one more time in this section. East Lee County in 2, Naples in 3, East Bay in 4, Tampa Jefferson in 5, Blake in 6, Lincoln in 7, and Evans in 8. So a total of 6 teams out on the track.
And right now Evans setting the pace in lane 8.
And East Lee County not in this race, down in lane 2.
Second place right now, it's Jefferson in lane 5. Fairly clean on the handoff.
Well, it's going to come down to that second section. Bartram Trail pretty much controlling their own destiny at this point. But we've got some good racing to go as the guys drop on down into lane 1. Everybody fighting to get along the rail here with 200 meters to go. We're going to see a lot of movement coming back from 4th, making up some room on the outside of the turn.
Still got Evans in 1st. Here comes, and into 1st place goes
So Evans now
Jefferson.
back into 2nd.
Now another run coming up.
Right around 141. Still 5 teams in contention, only about a second and a half separating these 5 teams in Section 1.
Tampa Jefferson remaining in 1st. Here comes Evans in 2nd.
Well, you really like to see 5 teams still in contention here as they come off the turn. They'll have one more leg to go and one more exchange to get through. Everybody fighting for position in this last 100 meters. We've seen some strange things happen on the last leg with the baton. Just think back to last week. You got to get that baton safely and tucked away right around 2:32, and we're off.
Actually, Lincoln running in second, Evans in third. East Bay is fourth, Blake in fifth as they come around. Jefferson still setting the pace.
He's going to feel some heat with 200 to go. He's got 3 runners right behind him, only about 10 meters back. And down somebody went. You know, we see it all the time. One of the guys went down in that pack of 3 as they were on the turn trying to fight for positioning as they're coming down the final stretch here. And he almost went down again. They've got that rub rail here on the track at UNF, and we've seen some people that have hit that fairly hard. So 3:19 for the win for Tampa Jefferson.
Yeah, and in the end, Lincoln falls way back because of the falls. They were in second going to that last leg, and now will fall back into 6th position. Tampa Jefferson 3:20.04 with East Bay in second. Actually, Lincoln will move back to 4th. That was actually Evans, I guess, was having problems back there. They come in 6th. Naples in 5th. East Lee County is last. So Jefferson 3:20.04 wins the first section of the 4x400 meter relay final.
Well, we'll see if that time holds up in Section 2. A lot of these teams right around the 3:15 to 3:20 mark. Will their 3:20.04 be enough to get them up on the podium and score a couple of points for Tampa Jefferson and maybe have an impact on this final section? You know, when we synthesize, I think when it comes down to it in this final section, if Gainesville is able to win, Bartram Trail must get second for Bartram Trail to win the state championship. Gainesville comes in 3:18.84 on their seed time. Bartram Trail right there. Marty, this is really going to be exciting.
Yeah.
This is what you want to see. And I've seen it for 3 state championships in a row right now.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Just to do a little bit of cleanup on the 4x400 or 4x400 girls final. Dillard did finish 3rd, so they will finish 4th overall. Evans in 3rd, Northwestern first, Child second. We'll go over that at the end. But now, here we go, Section 2, the boys 4x400 meter relay final. Bartram Trail, the top time of the regional, 3:18.08. They will start in 5th. Lane 5. Ida S. Baker will be in lane 1. Matanzas in 2. Hallandale in 3. Gainesville in 4, that you were just talking about, Dr. Bob. Bartram Trail in 5. Carroll City in 6. Northwestern in 7. They're still right in the middle of it. Hillsborough in 8. They're still there. And Dillard in lane 9.
And you know, with Lincoln kind of faltering there in Section 1, it's going to have a ripple effect into Section 2. It's put a lot more teams into play now, Marty. Some of these teams right on the cusp of winning a state championship. They may not know it down there, but when the points are all said and done, it's going to come down to this last section. Every point counts. We've said it over and over again. Every spot, every inch counts. You know, we've seen it so many times. You have a full day of competition multiple times around this track, and it comes down to a matter of inches, if not centimeters, at the line in the boys 4x4. It's one of the reasons we love this sport.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun, and you're right. It's nice to be able to crown a state champ here on the final race of the day. Again, we'll go over the lane assignments here. Ida S. Baker in lane 1. Matanzas will be in lane 2. Hallandale in 3. Gainesville in 4. Bartram Trail in 5. Carroll City 6. Northwestern 7. Hillsborough 8. And Dillard in 9. And if you are wondering, Bartram Trail is 1 point back of Bell and Jesuit at 27. Northwestern has 26. They are 2 points back. Gainesville is in 6th with 23. Hillsborough in 7th with 22. And Hallandale is in 9th with 20. A tie for 9th. And those are the schools that are participating in this event. And Miami Carroll City is a tie for 9th with 20 as well.
Well, let me just go down the fastest times for these boys teams. We're just going to throw out the regional times because they really don't count. A lot of times you just run to move on to the state meet. In this section, we've got Hallandale. They've got the fastest time in the state so far for 3A, 3:15.95. Okay, second is Miami Carroll City. They're a ways back, like you said, in 9th spot. Probably not a player. Bartram Trail comes in 3:18.08, followed by Gainesville. They'll be there 3:18.84, and Miami Northwestern 3:20.02.
As you look at the medal ceremony again for Evans. Evans High School winning the girls 4x400 meter relay and finishing 3rd overall in the team standings in 3A.
And Hillsborough, let's not forget about them. They've gone 3:21.8. So any way you cut it, it's going to be down to about 5 teams or so that need to really, really step it up. And we'll take a look at the girls' awards down there for the 4x4.
Yep, Evans in first. Second place went to Northwestern, who has long since clinched the overall team title in 3A, and then Dillard comes in 3rd. So Northwestern 1st overall. Evans comes in 3rd overall, Dillard in 4th. And second place goes to Childs from Tallahassee.
And pretty impressive when you think about it. You know, we've seen a lot of teams come in with one athlete, win all 4 events, they score 40 points, and they walk away with the hardware. Childs only bringing down 5 athletes.
Wow.
Lily Williams getting the triple, and
She's a team.
The rest of the team doing their part, and they're going to be the runner-ups as we're underway with the boys 4x4 section 1. The real secret, I think, to the anchor legs for the 4x4 teams. Who's got the best anchor? If everybody's in the hunt. You know, we've already seen Arubo, the second fastest time in the state so far. He will probably be on the anchor for Bartram as we look forward to the second race. But we got the first race we've got to get out of the way here. And looking pretty good right now out in lane 8.
It's Dillard. Actually, yeah, that's Dillard in 9, off to a good lead.
So Dillard down in lane 9, and everybody else. There's Bartram. They're looking fairly good in lane 5. But it's gonna, and Hallandale with a good leg right around 48.5.
Well, here comes lane 3.
And Hallandale, like we said, they've got the fastest time in 3A this year. They've already gone 3:15.95. So down the backstretch, Hallandale, followed by Bartram, followed by Dillard.
And Dillard now pulls into second. Gainesville's in 4th, so there's one to watch. Here comes Gainesville.
All the teams are right there. Miami, Carroll City in there as well. But looking pretty good right now is Hallandale.
Gainesville just went into 3rd. Bartram's in 4th, and now being passed is Bartram by Carroll City in 5th.
137 for Hallandale, followed by Dillard. Almost some trouble there for Bartram Trail. You know, you don't want to be bumping up against the guy from Carroll City and possibly seeing that baton go out.
That would end any chance you have at a state championship. Hallandale in control. Dillard in 2nd. In 3rd place is Gainesville. And Hallandale is extending that lead.
Well, Hallandale's doing what they need to do because they don't want to come down to Arubo. That's going to be 20 meters back and possibly go 46 on the anchor leg for the win. So Hallandale looking pretty good. Here comes the rest of the pack. This is Miami Northwestern moving up. They've got a really fast seed. 3:20.02 coming in. Giving up a little bit as 3 guys take the baton there. It's Hallandale clear by 30 meters now. Dillard and Miami Northwestern. Northwestern on the outside of the turn.
Wow.
Down the backstretch, that's Hallandale. They're 30 meters clear, but here comes the rest of the guys.
Gainesville now in 4th.
It's Miami Northwestern, followed by Gainesville. Oh, Dillard almost went off.
There's Bartram Trail back in 5th. But again, Carroll City is challenging for 5th place.
If Gainesville has a really good leg here, along with Miami Northwestern, and they're able to be up in the second spot, they could win it outright. So Hallandale, and here comes Bartram.
Guess who?
And who? It's going to be Bartram at the line.
And guess who it was?
That's a 46 anchor leg. That's what will do it for you.
Wow. And Mr. Urbu again, he did it earlier. to win a state title. They just won Bartram Trail a state championship.
That is unbelievable.
And then he's tackled by his teammates. And all of nowhere, it looked like it was going to come down to Dillard and Gainesville behind Hallandale. And Bartram Trail 3:17.20 wins it. Hallandale second, 3:17.40. And close to the end, Dillard and Gainesville. Gainesville gets third, 3:17.88. Look at that.
Well, it came down after it was all said and done for a state championship to possibly, a couple of inches when it was all said and done. Got to hand it to Arubo. Had a great day. He is a great racer, great runner to watch out of Bartram Trail. Coach Nowicki got to be very, very happy, along with the rest of the staff over at Bartram Trail. We saw him do it in cross country, and man, we get a chance to see him do it now on the track.
That is an amazing finish there. As you could see, Uruburu coming out of nowhere. Northwestern takes fourth at 3:18.83. Fifth place was Carroll City at 3:19.20. Dillard in sixth, 3:20.87 as Dillard faded at the end. And one of their runners is still down on the track. We hope he's okay, obviously. Hillsboro in seventh. Matanzas in eighth. And Ida S. Baker finishes ninth. So we await the final standings, and we'll go ahead and try to figure them out a little bit. With that win, Bartram Trail is the 3A Boys State Champion. 37 points for Bartram. And coming in second is Gainesville. They'll finish with 31.
Along with Miami Northwestern.
That's right. Northwestern ends up picking up 5. So a tie for second with 31 points. And interesting, Bartram Trail may not have even won the state championship. It could have been Gainesville. If Bartram Trail doesn't come through the end, Gainesville wins it. So how amazing is that ending? And Bell and Jesuit will finish there with 28. They didn't have a runner there, but boy, that was that was a lot of fun. You never think it's going to come down to the end like that, but boy, it does. Not only the final race, but the last few seconds.
The last half stride, we see it time after time, Marty. The last week was just the same. The week, with both 1A and 2A. Holy Trinity coming off the final turn. TJ Simon with 80 meters to go. He needs to move up. He gets the job done. And we just see it time after time. Such a great, great night. I feel really happy, and at the same point, we've seen some people go down, and my thoughts right now, with Olivia Ortiz and her family. Hopefully, she's going to be okay, and we had a chance to see some great athletes out on the track. Probably not have their best night tonight, but you take a look at some of the stars that we talked about earlier on, and we got a little bit of time here before we get to the awards. We talked about the local favorites, Kendall Williams, Tristy Johnson. They get it done.
They delivered.
We talked about some of the superstars at the National 11, maybe a little bit banged up right now. Artie Burns not able to get the win. Hats off to Paul Barrett out of Gaither. He's your champion in the 300 hurdles. We talked about Urubu getting it done for Bartram Trail when they needed it. Every point counted, and it came down to the last half stride, and sure enough, he got it done.
Well, here are the final standings. We'll give you the top 10 on the girls' side as we await the final updated totals on the boys' side. And again, Miami Northwestern, they are state champs. This year in 3A, they dropped from 4A to 3A, won the last 2 years in 4A, and no problem today in 3A. 76 points for Northwestern. The Bulls win it again. Second is Tallahassee Childs with 44. Third was Evans High School out of Orlando with 35.5. Fourth, Fort Lauderdale Dillard with 32. In fifth place, Pine Forest from Pensacola with 29. Lake Weir in sixth with 23 out of Ocala. Seventh was Hallandale with 21. Number 8, thanks to Tristy Johnson, Ed White of Jacksonville finishes with 20. And a tie with Lakewood Ranch, who finished with 20. And in 10th place was, and they just updated on me, but we'll go ahead and here are the final boys standings. So that was your top 10 in girls. Bartram Trail with 37 is your champ in 3A. Actually, Northwestern moves to second with 31. after finishing 4th. They are just able to stay ahead of Gainesville. Gainesville 3rd with 29. Bellin Jesuit, Belen with 28. They end up in 4th. 5th, and a tie with Hallandale with 28. Tallahassee Lincoln in 6th with 25 and a half. 7th is Charlotte at 25. Number 8, Carroll City with 24. 9th, Hillsboro with 23. And Nice comes in 10th with 21. How about that?
Unbelievable. A great night of action here at 3A. We got one more night, one more day to go, Marty.
4A tomorrow should be fun.
Can we outdo 1A, 2A, 3A tomorrow night?
It's going to be tough, but hey, we'll try, right? We'll come down to the end again. We may do that. It doesn't get much more exciting. And not only there at the end, but how about Nick Oraburu doing that earlier, coming back out of nowhere to win it in the 400-meter dash. I mean, he just came out of nowhere, and he did it again in the final. There, the by 400-meter relay.
And, you know, I thought he basically struggled and just barely got by in the prelims, just taking a look at the body language as he was coming across. That may come down to coaching and saying, hey, I don't need you to run all out in this prelims. I just need you to qualify for the final. We're going to be counting on your points later on tonight, maybe even thinking down the road to the 4x4 and saving them. You know, it was hot down there. It was the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do what you just need to do to take care of business and think about the long-term goals.
To get to nighttime where it'll be a bit cooler and a little more windy. And 20 points he basically picked up today, the 10 for winning earlier in the individual race, and then the 10 here in the final race, the 4x400-meter relay. So Bartram Trail, another team, another school nearby. They're up in St. Johns County, not far from here, just over the Jacksonville-Duval County line. They are the state champs for boys in 3A. And again, Miami Northwestern wins the girls' title easily in 3A. Didn't have a lot of drama there. We knew what was going to happen there, but we definitely had a drama on the boys' side tonight.
You know, a lot of times we think about the athletes that are down on the track, and obviously they've got to perform. But they have to get to this point, and there needs to be a strategy in place for a team to win a state championship. Coach Nowicki from Bartram Trail, he's been around a long time. He's one of the guys that has seen it all. You know, he's got a great track mind, a great distance and cross-country mind. This is his first track title ever. He's had actually some runner-ups as assistant coaches and things along those lines, but this is a great win for a great guy, Coach Nowicki, out of Bartram Trail. He won 2 state titles at Wolfson, but the first now at Bartram Trail. So a little bit of a new era at Bartram Trail with Coach Nowicki getting the first title.
And again, the drama part of it, and he is. We knew he was a fast runner coming in. I've had a chance to see Oraburu play wide receiver for Bartram Trail. He does a pretty good job on the field. He can run past anyone, as you saw today, and brings Bartram Trail a state championship. His high school quarterback is now heading off to Tennessee from Bartram Trail, so we'll see. The future may be for another year for Oraburu at Bartram Trail. He's only a junior this year. We'll see what happens for him in football and track as he goes into his senior season. Well, the teams are coming to the medal stand. Our final
awards for the individual events. Boys 4x4 down on the track. We'll take a little break after they give out these awards. All the timers right now making sure that they've got the I's dotted and the T's crossed as before they release the state champions and the runner-ups. The state final hardware not going very far if you're Bartram Trail tonight.
As you look on the medal stand, Bartram Trail first in this final event. Hallandale in second. Gainesville finishes third. Fourth place was Northwestern. Just missed out on winning both the boys and girls titles today. But they finished second. Gainesville again third overall. Belen Jesuit tied for fourth with Hallandale with a strong close today. But Bartram Trail the win overall.
Seventh place, Dillard High School.
Dillard came in 7th in the race. And Dillard
Tampa Jefferson.
Down the list overall this year.
Fifth, Miami Carroll City.
Miami Carroll City ended up 5th. They ended up 8th overall with 24 points.
Fourth, Miami Northwestern.
Northwestern 4th in that race.
Your third place team with a time of 3:17.88, Gainesville High School.
Gainesville High School, another team who's been kind of on the rise.
Hollandale High School.
No chance to see a lot of their football games during the season. They have quite a few football players: Chris Thompson, Kendrick Young, and Shamon Williams, Antwerp Jelks on their 4x400 relay team. And they just that close.
Just that close.
That's all it takes, all right. Again, the medals being handed out. Fun day today. It's a long day, but you know what? It's been enjoyable.
Well, your thoughts on your first track meet?
I have to admit, that was some drama there at the end. I was very happy to see that. We had a lot of it today. Hopefully, like you said, I agree with what you said, Olivia Ortiz. We hope she's fine, but you can't ask for a much better finish. And I tell you, it was enjoyable to watch. And tomorrow can only be better, right? It's 4A. We're going to see some great talent tomorrow as well in 4A.
Oh, yeah. We're really looking forward to a lot of the athletes that'll be here. A lot of national interest in the 4A meet. You know, we saw the likes of all kinds of media outlets roll into town today. We've got the 3A and the 4A that always kind of highlight and finish off the track season here in Florida.
Great crowd tonight as well. They've been loud. They've been involved. And it was fairly packed, and we think we'll see the same tomorrow. It's going to be another warm day tomorrow. But the good thing about it is we go into the evening, it cools off, the sun goes down, and it was a nice evening here at UNF. And a beautiful track and field facility here right on the campus of the University of North Florida, right across from the baseball and softball complex, the Ospreys, home of the Ospreys.
You know, if you're Coach Van Alstyne from the University of North Florida, I think you're very, very happy at this point. 3 state meets here already under his belt. We've got just one more to go. And the suspense, the excitement, the competition, you know, it's all leading up to, hey, folks are going to want to come back and see more events at Hodges Stadium. Great facilities, great 9-lane track, a great spectator-friendly concourse here. We've got 9,400
seats, that's right.
On this side of the track.
Huge
you know,
facility.
As we look down the road, maybe we'll have another 9,400 at some point on the other side. And just imagine the excitement that you could have with a really top-notch quality meet. We've got the NCAA East Regionals coming up. That'll be Memorial Day weekend. So a lot of good stuff happening here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. We're getting ready for the team presentations. There they are. There's the hardware making its way down in front of the grandstand.
The Northwestern girls celebrating another state title down there on the field in Hodges Stadium. The picture is being taken. There's the FHSAA trophy awarded to Northwestern. And now we will see Bartram Trail. The boys will come over and accept their trophy for winning the 3A state title in the 2012 Track and Field Championships here at the University of North Florida on the boys' side. Bartram Trail out of St. Johns County in the Jacksonville area. So again, a little home field, home track advantage maybe, but they were definitely one of the favorites coming into today. And you know what, I'm going to tell you that the virtual meet, it was right. It's very accurate. Northwestern and girls, you said coming in today, Bartram Trail and boys, and almost got the points right. Bartram Trail with 37. This has 36. Boy, I tell you.
You know, I don't make this stuff up by myself,
Gainesville
Marty.
in second coming in. They finished third. So, boy, I can tell you what.
I had a lot of help to be able to kind of put this together and lay the groundwork for everybody out there.
I think you're a soothsayer. I think you. Oh, I know you know plenty about track, so it's been a lot of fun, and you've been educating me as well. And you see Childs, the second place team, and boy, what a day for Lily Williams. A triple for her today.
Well, he won't take a whole lot of credit for it, but Coach Scott Gowan from Childs, one of my favorite coaches throughout the state, gets it done with 5 girls for Childs with their runner-up trophy. Now that the season is over, you know, what's weighing in the balance for the likes of a Lily Williams? There's postseason events to go to. Will there be something big on the horizon? We will have to wait and see. We'll finish up with 4A tomorrow night and then turn our attention to the postseason for a lot of these track and field athletes. And Marty, we said it earlier on, an Olympic year.
2012.
You just take a look at all of the competition and all the great stuff track and field is going to have to offer over the next several weeks. Exciting stuff.
Looking forward to the Summer Olympics in London and having a chance to take those in coming up in late July and early August. As you see, again,
Girls.
more pictures for Northwestern.
Well, that's a unique angle. I haven't seen a whole lot of people down right in the middle of the track taking their pictures, but what a great place to do it. You've got the scoreboard in the background.
Yeah, that's neat. And now there's the medal ceremony for the boys. Bartram Trail, the Bears get their state trophy. FHSAA state championship trophy.
Well, I'm really looking for Coach Nowicki to make his way down there. If I know Coach Nowicki, he probably has on a long sleeve white shirt with a tie, even though it's probably feels like
90 degrees.
95 degrees down on the track.
Well, I don't think I'd be wearing that down there, but to each his own. You see Miami Northwestern, and on the second place, getting the second place trophy. The Bulls almost pulled off boys and girls state title today. Just missed it on the boys side.
Dropping down from 4A where they were last year to 3A this year, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with year in and year out in 3A if they do stay in that classification.
And there you go, Bartram Trail, and led by the man Nick Uruburu.
We will look at that replay over and over again and, you know, wonder, how did he ever do it? From way, way back, never gave up. He believed that he could get to the line. And after a pretty darn long day as it is.
It's one of those things where you kind of look behind you, and there found the coach.
Well, you know, I thought he was going to be in a long sleeve white shirt. He's kind of toning it down a little bit. Coach Nowicki, the head coach at Bartram Trail, very, very happy on the left-hand side of the screen. That's a smile of delight, and he's just really happy for his guys and obviously for the school and his staff and everybody that's gotten him to this point.
Bartram Trail celebrates a state title. All right. Well, it's been a fun day in 3A. We'll do it again tomorrow. How about that?
Let's come back to Marty. We'll start off with the 4x8s once again, right around 12:55 on the air, and 4A.
That's right. We'll be back at 12:55 tomorrow. And again, for DVD, and you want a DVD of this one to watch the exciting ending of these 3A state championships for family, friends, or athletes. If you're Bartram Trail, you might want to see that finish again and see just how close it was. But if you want a DVD, go to FHSAAsports.com. For Dr. Bob Cook of DistancePreps.com, I'm Marty Paulman. Thanks to the entire crew of Play On Sports here today. This is a production of Play On Sports and the Class 3A Boys and Girls Track Finals. Signing off now from Jacksonville, the University of North Florida. We will talk to you again tomorrow here on the FHSAA Network. Good night.